Where'd it go? Amy, can you tell if we're on? What happened? The whole screen changed. It's gone. That is bizarre.
Yep, we are.
I don't even have a screen to tell whether normally you get this little button that tells you that you have to go live or you can't go live.
Wow.
I don't know whether that's true that I'm live or not. I have no screen. And the screen where I can see people type, it's gone. So I have no clue.
No, we're live. I
All right.
see both on there.
Well, I'm hoping people will comment because I don't have a screen. I have no screen. I have no idea how to communicate with. Oh, I can do this route.
Your phone or your iPad? Hi, everyone.
Hey, somebody did something different. Now I really can't see anybody, so I've got to find another way to communicate. Oh my gosh. I'm just trusting that it says live in the corner of the screen. Bizarre.
Yes, we are live. I can see us.
Well, that's good. It's important to now let's thrive because a lot of people with their level of consciousness has really, you know, let's put it this way. We want to find clear. Ooh, we are live. Hey. Oh, but it won't let me in. I want to connect.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I want to connect with myself so bad. Oh, they must have changed the feature here too, because normally I could push a little button and I'm in. But not today. Why?
I don't know, love.
This is just too funny.
Okay, wow. I can see that, so I can pin that.
What if I do that? Will it let me in there? Oh, okay. I'm not touching anything else. I'm somewhat in. Look it, I see people. Hello all. Yeah, I'm going to be looking in this direction when I need to be aiming over here. I'm going to tell you, it's just the weirdest thing. It's like, I don't need a person with me, but it's always nice to know there's somebody I'm talking to. And instead of just looking at the screen and thinking, anybody there?
Is anybody out there? Yeah.
Like the trouble I had with iPod or what do you call it? Doing podcasts is that I need a face or I need something to know somebody's out there. And when I see people in the room like Melinda and see Megan and Marty, I can't see James, I can't see this Zarin. It's good because then I can feel I can connect. Now, did you notice the Schumann report of the spiking of the energy, the frequencies of the Earth? And then there's now a different, a crystal diamond grid now on the planet. And this is why everything's been screwy as well. And now everybody is being faced with learning to let go of their level of consciousness. What do I mean, people? What do I mean? Level of consciousness. Okay, so let's just take this for a second. And Michaela, I see that you're here, so just have to wait a few minutes and then we'll take you. People, some people say, well, what are chakras, and chakras are stupid and chakras are the greatest. And one thing about chakras is that if you were to understand their energy, okay, there is a level of consciousness that you are at, and you are operating out of the first three. You're like, but I'm operating out of the 6. Good for you. Let me tell you why. You will always operate out of the first 3 levels, okay? And how you evolve is raising the level of consciousness of waking up what's unconscious and incompetent within those 3 levels. Then it'll trigger the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. Okay, then you begin to remember who you were, what past life was all about, why does it matter, But it boils down to when on every average day thing, the first three level of consciousness, the first three chakras have everything to do with consuming, okay? Has to do with collecting your data to how it is that you have responded. So like, for instance, to have a conversation of the self, you inside, and having a identity to reality, to which is what's called an illusion. And when you're looking through the lens of the ego, okay, so you have an electromagnetic guiding omni-apparition. This is a lens. This is what ego is meant to do. It's help to hold the consciousness, you, the spirit consciousness with a soul, a recorder, and you come through, okay? And it's when you identify. Now, you can identify with joy and love as you begin to identify, and you're looking through all of the potential, all of the quantum field. This is the quantum field out here, the objective reality. And you get to play in it. But how come you keep choosing the same one? Well, good question. Because it's what's programmed in the first three chakras. That's your data. It's the things that you won't let go of that creates limitations, or it's the things that you need to experience to create a perspective. When you start getting a world perspective or a collective perspective, okay? Oh, I went off to college and boy, are they different. Oh my gosh, they're traveling and they different. But then those people that don't travel cannot have the same experience or create the perspectives. So then the adventurers will come back home and start having a conversation. Well, you're different. You know, everybody's like clashing. And some people, depending on what level they're going through in their first three chakras, will find that, why don't you think the way I think? Because it's based on what? Individual, okay? What's relevant to that individual reality. It's what each experience you have learned to grow from, to develop more. Okay, so you're with me so far? You can't help but be ego, because that's how you're choosing to look through the lens is your choice. But to bring consciousness through, that's the lens. When you are in your mindsets, the more external you live, the more you're going to be further away from, boy, it's easily getting distracted today. What was I saying? Spirit just took and changed that. Waiting for that reconnection. Pay attention to something. Trying a Twitter share. Ooh, unknown territory. Exactly. That's what we're doing, Dale. We are making known the unknown. And the only way you really can do that is by feeling and experiences. Oops, I didn't do that. Try it again, Aim.
All right.
I was just trying to find the button. So as I'm channeling spirit and trying to be Brenda at the same time.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. I'm a little slow on the uptake. That's okay.
We love you anyway.
Thank God for that. Now, I need to get up here and say spotlight video. Now, you should be able to take the one off. So, it looks like my name's Amy. My voice.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, can I see me now?
Well, I guess it must have worked, I think. Now, are we done with this part so we can go and continue talking?
Yeah.
I can feel spirit. Come on. So they're like, okay. But making known the unknown. So, yes, sorry. No, okay, Michaela, you did get in. I have to admit you, but I'm in the middle of my talk, we can admit you and we'll mute you so that you can sit in the room if you'd like. So once now Amy, I gotta make Amy co-host. Now Amy can let you in, but we'll keep you muted because this is my first 20 minutes or so. They stretch that 20 minutes, I tell you.
Yeah, no, I'll send her the link. I told her that.
Okay, because she was there. I just complications in the beginning here. Rebook, reback, blah. Okay, see, blah, 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 blah. Seriously, there's like 3 chords. Which one do you want? What level of streamline of thinking do you want? Exactly. It boils down to that. Your level of consciousness, because it's that first, second, and third chakra. And, you know, it's important to understand each chakra is connected to a gland, which is connected to a group of organs or an organ or so. You're divided up into different groups because they're different level of consciousness. And that first level of consciousness, you know, if you really think about it, it is, can you break away from the tribe? Can you break away from the what do you call it? I want to say the inner collective, but that's not what I want. What I call is rings. Spirit, when we start teaching about becoming a spiritual human, they talk about rings of reality. Rings of reality is, the first ring is going to be, because I can't see myself unless I use a mirror, my first ring will be those, like with Amy, it'll be her kitty cats. Okay. Or it will be me because she sees me every day, or, you know, and then her husband and other little people. But if you have somebody in your space every day, including people at work, they will be somewhat your first ring. But when they talk about an issue, okay, so if it's happening to you, then it'll be the first ring. If it's happening to them and they're telling you, that's like the second ring. And if they are telling you about a friend that's further out, that'll be like the third ring. And then you have the collective consciousness, the universal consciousness collective, but they're all still you. And that's like an echo. And if you've ever held up a mirror, if you ever hold up a mirror that does this, okay, I don't know if I can get it. So first there's just you, but if you turn it just right, you can have endless, I can't do it right. That's just a couple. I can't get it. But you know what I mean? It can be endless. It's not doing it the way I want. But it can be endless. And that means it's what's called the possibilities. This is part of that quantum field. And we create an energy cord to any and all things that we see. Like I have an entanglement cord with Amy. Now there's a degree of understanding entanglement cords, which is a true entanglement cord based on the theory of Einstein. Is this, if I were to scratch here, she would feel it and scratch there too, exact same time. There's no time delay. But because we are doing an individual entanglements with this collective whole, now this is not in any scientific book. This is only what Spirit keeps showing me every time. So it is this level of consciousness that we're working through the chakras. So when I see a cord to me and Amy, I will see different colors. I will still see different sounds. And if it's more, if we are going through in more of a negative mindset or an ego negative mindset, because you can have an ego mindset that's positive, but with a false twist. But anyway, what can, oh, I'm 30. What's that? Hold on, being distracted. Must be a reason. I'm distracted. Somebody out there is distracted by something on my shirt. Stop it, people. I'm back. Okay. The level of consciousness is very important for you because, like for instance, in certain countries, some people are still asleep to the point that they don't realize that other people think differently, and it's okay that other people think differently. If I can't do it, you can't do it. Even though we have made great strides within certain places, what is going on? Stop it, Spirit. It's like, what's going on with my eye? Okay. I do not need to hear everybody's thoughts. Let's put this shield up. My share is not showing on Facebook page. Really?
It's not showing on his Facebook page. I'm going to go check right now.
Everything's so strange. Like I said, I can't tell whether I went live or not, except for the fact that I found myself. There's a sign.
Oh, God. You don't want to know where my mind just went, Brenda.
Oh, good God. My shields must be up because I didn't go there. Okay.
Nope, I don't see it, Dale.
My share is not showing either. What in the heck? What am I in, Neverland?
No, that makes me wonder if my share worked.
Makes me just wonder if anything's working at all. Because it was when they shoved me over. I was a good girl. I have not broken any Facebook laws. So I'm not in Facebook jail. So I see a cute butt on a man's picture. Why do I need to see that? That's what I get to see? I'd rather see my husband's. Okay. Why? All right. So if I go. Do you know what's funny? Oh. It says I'm live. It's happening now. Okay, if I go here, husband. Yeah, I'm going to talk twice. You shut up, young lady. Okay. Don't want to hear you. So now what happens if I share this? Share this to, I'm going to share this to a page, see what happens. So notice that these are signs. When Spirit talks to me, it's like, what's happening? I don't know. We'll find out. Now I just shared it and I'm going to go over to this one and see if it works.
I found it on my page, on my personal profile.
And I found it on my other profile. So I'm not sure what's going on with Dave. Or Dale. Dave. Who's Dave? Who just spoke to me?
I don't know. Nope. So it's Chrome that's not wanting to play nice.
Well, where am I at? I'm in Chrome right now. No, they changed another law. I thought I could do Google Pay, and then it finds out, no, because your bank in Australia does not want to cooperate with the U.S. Come on. Oh, my God. Whatever.
Thank God I only sent $1.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you get your dollar back.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Okay. See, this is about the level of consciousness. This is about in the example of Spirit says, all right, so there's complications that need your attention. And so something will pull your attention. When it pulls your attention, it's good that we want to help other people. We want to make sure everything runs smoothly. But what happens when somebody wants your attention that is not in, wow. Melinda said, strap on your heart. Oh, Kansas going bye-bye. Oh, is there a bad storm? What's happening? Always will find a workaround. Yes, the third option, Dale. Thank you for bringing me back to my center. There's a lot of strange stuff happening. And again, it's that level of consciousness. You're starting, I should put my hand. That would actually be pretty, wouldn't it?
I like that.
Okay, well, I don't need to be playing with my hair, Mother.
Mom, leave Brenda's hair alone, please.
I think she's like, I just want to let you know I loved you and I'm here. And I'm thinking, that's great, Mom, but there's a show going on. She goes, well, there's nothing really going on. And I'm thinking, yeah, just because I'm disconnected doesn't mean you get to play with me. I'm not a doll. Just another second. Just give me another second. I swear yes, I could control her if I wanted to, but I'm in the middle. She goes, what is that? That's not what I created. I'm better than this, Amy. Leave it alone.
Leave Brenda alone.
She goes, but this is going to annoy me. Why does this feel like I'm doing my best to stay connected? It's a funny day, people.
I don't know.
Kayla, this is why we had to wait.
Awake today.
What?
I couldn't stay awake today.
Somebody stop me. All right, so somebody's having a cigarette. So what? I don't care. Yeah, I need some hairpins. Oh, yeah. She's good with her hair. Diana, she's good with those. Is this virus going to end soon? All right, that's a good question. What level of consciousness are you at? Have we been able to shift enough to get out of being asleep? Seriously, the more that depends on the level of consciousness of where you're at. Because some people have to play hardball. Some people, how much does Mother Earth need? Does she need us to sit there and get the atmosphere more clean? As the atmosphere gets more clean, when we're not doing as much externally, are we going in? Is there enough people? Is there enough people on the grid that are doing what needs to be necessary, going inside to be able to change that consciousness? Yay, Betty! Day 4 without cigarettes. That's a very good feeling. There's a part of her that is saying, you know what? I'm taking my power back. That's another thing. The top of this month was in the tribal group was knowing how we lose our power. As I'm doing the show, am I losing power? Well, I'm here as the entertainer, as well as the informative, the teacher, and whatever. But am I losing power? Well, do you get distracted? Okay, so Melinda says, oh my God, you're choking on my cigarette. Okay, now again, Vicky says to me, she drew a card, she says, oh my gosh, you're gonna get more sensitive. I says, more sensitive than this? No. Okay, so then I had some guy named Kenneth came on, he says, oh my God, he says, as soon as he interacted with me, I responded. And I was aware of that. So now it's like, what am I supposed to do, people? I'm a kinesthetic. Come on. I'm an empath. Come on. I'm a sensitive. Come on. I must not be waking up to one of my powers. Oh my gosh. I mean, I hope this is entertaining for you, because I so want to just let spirit rip and talk, Oh, okay. I just want to laugh, giggle, and oh God, don't give me the giggle shits, because that's not good. That's not even what it is, but then they must be telling me something else. No. You want that live. Oh, that reminds me of Kevin. I wonder how Kevin's doing. Well, we're going to send some love out to Kevin so he can, wherever he's at, we can help him, maybe get over the hurdle.
Get back to the shore.
Oh, yes. What does that mean? Get back to the shore? Is he out to sea? No, it's when your level of consciousness goes in the wave of possibilities. And if you're drifting in your over-identification with matter, which is where we were talking in the first place, because you have to have the ego, the electromagnetic guiding omni-apparition, to bring through the consciousness into this reality. All right. But it is when you're choosing which mindset, which brain wave, the complications of energies, where you're going to go, and what perspective you need on the kaleidoscope of perspectives. Which one do I need to look at? Which one do I need to let go of? And sometimes we don't want to let go of our dark night of the soul. Ooh, what does that mean? Amy, do you have a clearer definition of what that is, since you've had some experience? Hold on. Let me get you live. Amy, have you had a dark night of the soul just recently, or still going through one? Wait, explain.
Just recently. I think I'm out of it. I hope I'm out of it.
Start explaining. I will talk when it's time.
Dark night of the soul is when you have run to the end of your timeline, and you can't you can't for the life of you figure out how to move forward. And when you try to move forward, you get knocked 3-4 steps back. And then you try to move forward again and you get thrown back.
Damn bungee cord that holds you to your personality issues. Keep going.
Yeah, it's not fun. And when I'm in the dark night of the soul, I don't get to talk to Brenda at all.
No, because the vibration goes, what? She's like, I'm like, I can hear her knocking, but I can't let her in.
And I don't like that. So that I go heal my shit so that I can talk to Brenda.
And her recovery time's getting better.
Because this last time, I think it was only like maybe 4 days, 5 days.
Excellent. Yeah.
Whereas before, God, it was a long time. You were on vacation the last time I was in one.
Oh yeah, because I went.
I remember if you were in Fiji or if you were traveling Australia.
Both, because I remember. Didn't you do them for both? Because last one would have been Fiji. Because Nimbin was the one that was hard for you. Because I was talking to you.
That was the one where I was freaking out because I knew I would be able to. No, I was really freaking out when you went to Fiji. Because that was before we got me to the point where I could tolerate you not being able to talk to you, at least be a chat.
Mama couldn't be around.
Mm-hmm.
We're not speaking of past life, but somebody else is on the other side. Speaking of past life, somebody says, I know that you had to been my apprentice or whatever. I don't know who I was, but I was teaching you. And I feel like we're kind of just picking up where we left off. And I know it was in Atlantis. I wonder if you were there with me. I think we've been in several different, for this stage, the reason I say it for this stage, when my light codes personally came on for me, it was, because Atlantis fell, I don't know, it's a bad word for it, but when Atlantis and Lemuria and all that energy went that way, it was for this new energy to surface, and it was the yang, to be showing that Yang's good at being aggressive and Yin is to be in that other aspect, and separate them in such a way that this is where we're at. Now, when my light code started to come back on, it was like, okay, now I have to finish off what I started then is to now turn the lights back on, per se, because people are waking up and continuing on and getting back to we've gathered enough evidence about what happens when you separate them this way, and now we're coming back to unity. So as I start to pick up where I left off, this is where, because it was when I started to make my 60-foot labyrinth in my yard when I lived in Michigan. And I could feel it way before then. And then I brought in one of my Indian buddies. I didn't even know him, but obviously, Amy, you don't want to talk to me anymore. Anyway, so that's okay. I put it back to single view. It was like his name was Tim, and I'm like, ooh, Tim Harris, ooh, and I'm like, and he the moment, because this is the weird thing about when you start to recognize certain people. No, I didn't bump into him, but I had 3 of my students bump into him. Took a couple classes from him, and every time they went and talked to him, they're like, "Oh, you got to meet your like a doppelganger. I mean, you have to meet her." And so all of a sudden, they told me, hey, we met this guy, blah 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 blah, and you wait. And so then I see this guy pull in my yard because I had a business. And so I went to go up to the door, and as soon as I touched the door handle, and as soon as he touched the door, the vibration, I swear it just put me back into a certain time. I'm like, oh my God, it's you. And I'm thinking, I've never met this guy in this life. He looks and he goes, oh my gosh, it's you. And we're looking at each other like, yeah, I was his ex-wife in another life. He says, you're looking good. I said, so this is my we're just, and it was just the conversations and things like this. And God love him, he's funny. But anyway, when you start to connect with certain people, oh, see, Dale likes the split screen. Yeah, especially when I'm talking to Amy. But when she goes and hides herself.
But you can see me.
Yeah, I know. I know I'm supposed to get back to talking. That's what's happening. I have no idea. I've lost all track of time. There's no little time calculator on my screen.
30 minutes and 45 seconds.
All right, Kayla, get your button here. Let's get this fire crack going. So it was funny. I said to my husband, I think we need to watch RV, or I can't remember what it's called, but
yeah, RV with
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, oh, because me and my husband like to travel and do things. And I said, because we're itching to get out. But it's like, oh, we'll just watch people that do outdoor stuff. Yes, Dale? Yes, Dale? Dale's got a question. Yes, Dale? Anyways, with RV. And so we're trying to find it so we can watch it. And all of a sudden, I manifested it to be on TV.
Cool.
I'm like, did I know this or did I hear about it? I don't really watch a lot of TV, so we got to watch RV last night. Yeah, yes. Yes, Dale. Waiting for that question, Dale. It's a mighty big question. Don't you agree at times Spirit will do exactly what you are sharing tonight? You are relaxing us. You are being you. Yes. Let me tell you, Spirit never gets it wrong. I just have to be a good little host. Now, Kayla.
Bullshit with you.
What's that?
Sit and bullshit with you.
Oh, maybe we should just do a bullshit hour. Michaela, you got to decide whether you want to go live or not, or if just people want to hear your voice. And you know what? If my husband's listening, or LaRonda, Amy, girls, see if you can get his attention. I need to get a hot cup of coffee. Why? I don't ever go pee, I swear. So, Michaela's thing's still hooking up. Now, did somebody pay her forward, correct?
Yes, Dale.
Dale! Now, what do we have on here? We have what's called paying it forward, and Michaela has had a pay it forward from Dale Hyde, so we appreciate that. And we had so many wonderful pay it forwards on Monday that we finally get to connect up with today with Michaela. So let's see if we can get Michaela's thing working. Almost. Hold on. We're almost. Michaela, can you hear me?
I sure can.
And I can hear you. Okay. So Michaela, is it okay to bring you live so you're side by side?
Yeah, that's completely fine.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Now, I feel like I've never done this before, but I have. Trust me. The energy is a little wacky today, but that's okay. So how can I help you, my dear?
I've been kind of going through a lot this week, and an anniversary happened today of something that happened to me 5 years ago. And my cards, I've been reading tarot the past few days, and I keep getting let me double check. I keep getting wands. I've gotten the Knight of Wands, Seven of Wands, Nine of Wands, and then today I got Two of Swords, Nine of Wands, and Three of Swords.
Your definition
so I'm
of
trying
wands,
to
just so I got your reality.
Mm-hmm.
What's wands mean for you?
To be honest, I'm actually still learning. I just started reading tarot a couple days ago, but wands, as far as like,
what is their topic?
Transition.
Very good. Okay, now here we go. Spirit wants you to transit something out. Immediately I can see exactly what it needs. Is our voice is very important, so we can hear you and your story. So once you understand your story, what do you want to transist out? What do you think consciously that you want to transist out?
Honestly, all the negativity in my life. I struggle a lot with a lot of mental health disorders, and my family is extremely toxic, but I have a hard time letting them go. I am on this new journey, discovering that I am a witch, and a lot of people are not accepting of that. And it's me accepting me for who I truly am for once in my life.
Yay! It makes my heart sing when people can. Okay, no, let's not waste time. Let's not waste time. So what we're going to do is notice that as you truly have learning that your level of consciousness, that you don't have to be a cookie cutter, you don't have to follow tradition, you don't have to do any of that. So what is it that Spirit wants you to do? I want you to see more clearly. This is why I think today was about finding about clarity. And you have to understand the first three chakras are about safety, security, and stability. Your security is one of the needs that didn't get met when you were younger. Okay, so there is this. Okay, good. So one of the things that, Jesus, is overwhelmed. I mean, I just keep getting it in my face as if I'm being slapped, or there's just too much chaos and frantic stuff that's going on. And I feel like you were short when it happens. That tells me that it's about 2 years old. I just keep feeling all of this overwhelm. You're in the way, blah, blah, blah. Pick her up, move her, do, da, da. And then other things that I don't even want to describe. So I don't know if you've ever felt anybody's presence before.
Not that I'm aware of.
So are you aware that I'm present with you at this moment? Can you feel that I'm choosing to include you as a another individual? You're not just an it?
Yes.
Okay. And that's part of what you did was when I'm a witch, you became present with that part of yourself. But as you present your presence of who you are, people are going, what? No, don't fuck with my reality. Go back to being Michaela. Okay? We defined you. This is the way you're supposed to look. How dare you break? Oh, no. Okay. But this is the challenge. The challenge is that if I'm looking at this and you're going, but it's me, you have to stop trying to connect where you're not meant to connect. You're meant to feel it, experience it, understand where you have energy loss, understand your programs that create the dark night of the soul that says, I keep thinking the same way and they keep showing up this way, even though I've tried to be something else and they still show up this way and everything's bad. That's not your path, sweetheart. You need to put over here. This means you have to be okay to lose family and friends, learn to change that reality by getting out of the comfort zone. When we start to get into where we're meant to, because you are aiming at your path, as you're looking straight ahead, you're like, this is where I want to go. Because it's unfamiliar, it's like, oh my God, I can't really see where to put my foot. One day I know it's firm, the next day it doesn't feel firm. So one of the programs is to put you to sleep and go back to what's familiar or familia, which is also family. But it's not. You have to become your spiritual self, which means your personality is created by your personal reality. And your personal reality is created from the personality. So the personality of the negativity is creating the same story so you can see it. So that means you have got to learn something new in a healthy, strong, loving way that opens his heart, the gut, and the higher self, which then changed your personality, which means that's where we use healing tools. Okay? As you use healing tools, you are going to break down the chemical peptide of the emotions that create you to think negative, to be hooked into this group of toxicness. You understand? So your emotions have a lot to do with the way you think. And it has a lot to do, your inner world will create your outer world. So you're always going to pull in those types of people. So just ignore the ringer when it goes off, because I think this is a very great opportunity that I'm going to take advantage of and give it to you a little bit further. Because Spirit's hot, baby. All right. So there will be parts of you, sometimes you just don't know how to appropriately place yourself in certain situations. Like when you're at a funeral, you can't help but want to laugh, or you want, inappropriate things. Like you're not sure exactly, why am I responding this way? I should not be this way. Okay. But that's how your nervous system got twisted by something with the overwhelm energies. And there's a lot of energies of people. That's not even you, honey. If I mean, I can see all these layers. I'm like, but there's Michaela, but she's got everybody else's energy. So first of all, if you're going to be playing in the realm of a witch, whatever, if you're using the spells, using energy in any way, you got to first not use everybody else's belief system to create a spell for yourself or for anything, because it's going to be tainted. It's like when you're taking a fresh vegetables, and if you're cutting it up and you're mad, you're putting anger into the madness of the fruit and the vegetables, which is supposed to be healthy, but it changes the energetic structure. When you put it into and you cook it and you're stirring it angrily, which is another way of putting your emotion into a spell, then when you get done and you give it to people to eat, it's just food, right? I mean, and it would normally taste like good, but it tastes like shit. What they're tasting is the frequency of emotion. Okay? When something doesn't go right, I'm just telling you heads up, is that you have to be very mindful and with intention, understanding your emotions, the type of thinking, even if you're like, I'm smiling, I'm happy, but son of a bitch, you're going to screw up whatever you're doing. And this is where you're going to have one lesson on top of another lesson, and you're like, okay. So we want to get a hold of this.
Okay.
So you'll learn to be mindful. You have part of your personality is that you're meant to become something when people give you great sympathy. Oh, Michaela, I need your help today, Michaela. Do people ask for help?
Oh, so much.
And do they take it and push it too far?
Beyond.
Right. And understand this is where a border needs to be created for you. When we do certain acts so let me look. You're more of a sensitive. So without realizing, you're going to get persuaded.
I get easily persuaded.
And because of the easily persuasion, with the layers of people that are on you and their opinions, their beliefs, their emotions, the stuff that their emotions get stuck into you, your immune system says, oh, you're supposed to be cranky and bitchy today. Then that's not who you are, but your immune system says, well, that's what they are. That's what they are. That's what your immune system says. Well, I'm only copying. I'm overhearing. I'm trying to copy. I'm trying to fit in. Can you see already where you're not meant to fit in?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that means you have to learn to put the border up. Now, there's tons of things I could show you, but I want you to understand, if you're going to be who you want to be, you may have to use flair. Now, I don't know how far you are into becoming a witch with the action of being one. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if you are, understand that as you move energy, like I'm going to tell you to do the Celtic weave. Okay. So basically they're just big ass figure eights. Okay. Which means elbows here and whoosh. Okay.
Okay.
And you go to my site, medicinewomansolution.weebly.com, and you look under healing tools, you'll see the Celtic weave, connecting heaven and earth, the hook up, and the Wayne Cook, because you don't want to lose your shit. So you make sure you do Wayne Cook because of those people. Okay. But give it your all. Feel that connection to spirit. Because of the toxicness, you're going to have to make sure you open your heart further when you connect to the higher frequencies. Okay? Because in order for you to really become the channeler, the whatever abilities you want to develop, you do not need to dump into the astral realm. That's like toxic wasteland to sometimes. And people just leave their shit around. And that stuff can cling to you if you have your emotions unchecked. Okay, and you admitted that there are some mental issues, and it's the thinking. Okay, it's not that you're a crackpot. It's just some emotions are telling you to think negatively. Those are yours. But at the same time, you're looking and you took on it's like you took on how people think. And you're waking up going, this is not the only reality. I know this. And good on you for that. What I'm going to have you do is that you're going to write the word criticism down. Okay. Part of your homework is to define that. That is, how would I, in my mad state, define what criticism is? If I'm hurt, criticism will sound different than when I'm happy. But if I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not taking your criticism on, you'll start to, you're learning to open the heart, which means you're willing to let your spiritual mind come forward instead of your ego mindset, because your ego mindset's going to fuck you over. Just saying. So as you begin to come out of this, you have to check which mindset I'm in. I have Alexis. I'm like, Alexis, I'm in a bad mood. She goes, are you in ego mindset? Yes, bitch, I am. And I will own the fact that I am, but I don't want to live and dwell and take up residency there, because the last thing I want to do is have that to be my attitude, my personality, and my temperament. You can own and understand the emotion, but you let it go. And that means it has to fizzle out. But if it fizzles out naturally and you have a negative mindset or you're in toxic area, you're just going to fire and wire so that the issue goes deeper and the hurt's going to be harder. So the next time you start to think negative, you need to become aware when that happens. One of your biggest triggers is criticism. Because the way that people say things to get you to do what they want, it hurts.
It really does.
You're opening your heart and you're saying, I'm doing this. I'm doing it because I'm sympathy. I am important, and you are. But you're surrounded by a lot of people that are wrapped up in their own little world. Me, 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 me. There's nothing wrong with caring about yourself. But there is something when you are hooking up with people that treat you like an it. You're not an it. You're not an object. So as you begin to open up your heart, you need to start putting the energy out and attracting at a higher vibration that people get to see that you are worth. Okay, so stop marking yourself down and putting yourself on a discount rack and then eventually throwing yourself on the floor. No. We're going to dust you off, pick you up, clean you up, and you're going to shine. But you have to do that with one thing at a time. When people hurt you, notice that that language needs to be flipped to the ownership of, why is my soul projecting out this story through these people? It's not, this is one way in a spiritual aspect that you see them as the illusion, as the it, as this. Now they are human, but you've got to separate just enough so you can see that, oh, this is their thinking. This is what they're doing. Okay. But the moment you get a twang, the moment you feel defensive, you got to realize you are losing power. That's it. You're losing power. You have to make that stop. So one of the programs and the patterns is criticism. Their language is they really don't know how to talk any. It's like there's people that can talk with such flourish of words and can make something so beautiful and divine. Now, chanting is part of the thing that has to happen. But when people chant in a negative way, you son of a bitch, you this and this and that, it still holds the content of the spell. It still holds the content, but it's in a lower frequency of hertz. Okay? And what happens as you're beginning to find your light, you can't just be that when the light comes in and it soothes the dark or consumes the dark. Okay, here's the thing. Be like a light switch in a dark room. It's dark. Turn the light switch on. You're the light. Doesn't mean the dark has to put out the light. Your light switch is on. You need to start to illuminate it out. So it's like spreading your shit around. But remember, this space from tip to tip, That's what you came in and born with. Even people have no arms, you're still born with that width of your energy. Okay?
Okay.
Why do you think the coronavirus, the crown chakra, all that's waking up that you're meant to stay 6 feet apart? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Or however many. So there is an intention behind all this. You, my love, the main thing they're telling me that hurts. See, they're changing just by the way I'm talking. Your soul is waking up even further. I'm not even sure if you're aware of that, but that level of connectedness inside is starting to click, 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 click. Now, we don't want you to go back to sleep. So you have to learn when you're going into ego. If you're bitching and moaning, you're in ego. If you're sitting there blaming and all this, you're in ego. You have to train yourself. I don't want to be there. It's a choice. I want out.
Yes.
You have to get your power of choice back. Again, twang, you lost power. Immediately, use your little magic wand. Get back here right now. Back here. Call your energy back at night. Oh my God, what a day. I could bitch about it, but I'm going to reclaim my energy now. And you just start to fluff your energy. You start to call it back home and you start putting your energy back. But if you're worried that there's taintedness, ask for the purple heart with the transmuting of the violet flame. Call your energy through that to come back home.
Kind of like cleansing it beforehand.
Yes. And if you immediately are having a conversation with somebody, oftentimes, if I find somebody's negative, I'll just go like this, and they're like, what? Want me to hurry up? Oh, my wrist hurts. But what am I doing? The figure 8. That's all inside every one of our cells is a figure 8. The universe, the way it's connected, figure 8. This, you doodle figure 8s, actually begins to help the left brain and the right brain to balance itself out.
I did not know that.
There's a lot of things that just figure 8 can do. Even little fairy flows, little tiny figure 8s you draw in your body.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make your choice. If the moment you have the twang, no. Now you're going to come up with a big challenge. Oh, I so want to go there and fight. I so want to get in there and just feel that relish of that. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Well, that's good and bad. One, good. You're seeing where you're losing power. It's not strengthening, it's investing. I'm going to lose $1,000 on this stock market today. Ha 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 ha. That's what you're doing. You're investing your energy into something that's not going to be fruitful for you. You're going into spiritual debt. So you're going to learn to become more mindful. These fucking emotions. I'm so angry. Oh my God, what would Brenda do? Get a darn tool, even if you can only do this. This is a remarkable.
That's the best tool there is.
And that comes from the ghost from beyond the S. Now, you are made of electromagnetic energy. Just this alone touches a very important point in your meridians to help balance out the emotions. The hairline is part of that liver meridian that helps process out the chemical peptides of the emotions. The frontal lobe, the brain inside, creates reality. And when you're in fight, flight, freeze, 80% of your blood leaves your forebrain. Come on, put them up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's no blood up here to create a healthy reality. You can't make a choice if you wanted to. So when you do this, because the blood's electromagnetic, you're electromagnetic, and when you start doing this, chuck, 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 the blood goes back up to the frontal lobe. It doesn't have to be in stress. You will help pull yourself out of stress. And the best way to do that is like, oh, that damn bitch just criticized me. Make this a habit. I mean, sometimes I feel like I need to duct tape that freaking hand up there. Oh my God. That was the old days. But the point is, if you become mindful, scale from 0 to 10. Oh, to 10 billion. Oh, shit bricks. I mean, to the point where it makes Tourette's sound really good. You keep your hand there. You're going to find yourself contemplating, thinking. But instead of wiring it to be more hell and more mental shit,
Mm-hmm.
this is the tool that will break that down and you will start to resolve to evolve, because the thoughts that go nuts with the emotions, and the emotion itself starts to calm down your thought pattern. You can even catch yourself. So that's why I tell people, write down, yeah, it's 10 plus. And the topic is, she's a bitch. Okay? It'll be like, oh, she's just annoying. Oh God, I fell for it. You'll literally feel the number come down because you keep measuring. Now, do you see colors? You don't have to see colors with your eyes, but if you closed your eyes and saw a blue tree, could you see a blue tree?
Yes.
Okay, so you see colors. So that tells me you're accessing that right part of your brain. And that might be where a lot of your pictures are. Okay?
Okay.
Now, you want to play, you could go to my site and look up sensory system accessing, and you can start pulling out some of those colors. But as you measure, instead of just number, and you can't really figure out about the number, give it a color. And you're like, but I can't do either, then give it a thought. Because those thoughts will begin to help you understand that, it can be dramatic, but then all of a sudden, oh, it's not that dramatic. Oh, it's a different story. You will learn how to train your brain to become more of who you really want to become. You're more of your authentic self, okay?
That makes me excited.
Oh, I wish I had more time, because I would give you a healing tool so you can feel the difference, but you needed to understand you're worth something. You needed a little guidance of some homework, or whatever nasty word, we maybe change that connotation of spell work. I don't care what you call it. Dedicate some time to yourself. Put yourself on the priority list, and don't feel like you have to have enemies. Because the moment you say, thank you, Spirit, with great sneeze, don't forget that one, you will start to see and communicate with Spirit, and you'll start to see and communicate with more of your authentic self. The more you take your hells out and you resolve them out. I'm not talking about overcoming. You're still loss of power. No, when you're healing, you get the power back. When you're healing, you get to change that mindset. You are then allowing yourself to become more you. Okay? It'll take more than one time. Okay. But I'm just learn the word. Oh, I have a twang. I'm losing power. No, get back here. Okay? I want you to have the experience, but they said that this alone, just getting the words down for yourself, you're going to be moving mountains. Add the tools, because then you're going to be able to take down that spiritual path much faster. You will start seeing a significant difference, because any student of mine begins to notice, because when I tell you to own it, when you start to own what's going on, and then you heal and you witness that there's a dramatic change, and you keep witnessing, you graduate, and you keep it graduating. And then all of a sudden I'll say, compared to where you were. And most people are like, oh, it's only been 6 months ago. Oh, it's only been, oh, wow. And would you like to go back? Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, no.
There's that voice again. Oh, hell no. Give me it. I am on. Yeah. All right, Michaela, you're not alone. There's a lot of people waking up. You may want to think about joining the tribal group, because you get a lot for your money's worth. For $36, you get quite a bit of me. 5 times, but you get more than that, because it's not just a tribal hour. Everybody's going, oh my, you mean the tribal hours? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, tribal hour turns into like 3.
If they're not complaining, they're like, where'd the time go? And you get to rewatch all of it. So, and then you get to talk to the interns and grow. We'd like to see your growth. I believe in you. I know you will believe in yourself. You just have to remember, am I caught up in my surroundings? I call my power back. Okay. Your first word, twang, twang, twang. People are like, oh, it's quit twanging me. You wait, you're going to be laughing at yourself. You're going to be starting to notice, oh shit, she's right. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm hoping I really love when people get experiences, but they really just wanted to talk to you today, and you keep watching this part over and over and over. And what's going to happen is you're going to get more empowered, Okay.
Okay.
All right. You have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so
Sounds
much.
good.
All right. Bye. Thank you, Dale. That was wonderful. Loves Betty's response. Fuck no, not going back.
Oh,
Amen.
no way. Nope. Danny is on her way.
What's that, sweetheart?
Danny is on her way. She had to switch to the computer.
Okay, well, we have a Marion Harden, and we also have a Tracy Wallace. So if she's going to, is she coming immediately, or should I just take this next? Marianne? What's her, oh, never mind. Her ETA is right here. Okay, after Danny will be Marion and then Tracy, okay? Is it okay to be on video since I didn't get a chance to ask? I hope it's okay.
Yeah, she said yes.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. And as soon as the mic gets going.
Unmute, Danny.
I forget that I mute myself. Guys, move forward, please. Charlie, get in the bathroom. I just got done swimming.
So, okay, Amy, is this another pay it forward from Dale?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wonderful. So, Dale, thank you very much for gifting and paying forward for Danny. Now, soon, Danny, she's got her headset set on. So, if you want to, what do you want us to help you with, my dear?
I was just telling Amy that I am still having issues with the last few chords over the
issues you had with the family that you transitioned.
Well, it's more over the you should be dead, you should go kill yourself shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Up
Yeah.
more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the word that came up was aggression.
Yeah.
It's not even yours. Okay. So because of that aggression, it makes you feel awkward. They're trying to put you into they're hurt.
Wash your hair, please.
So what's happening is when somebody's hurt like that, they're going to keep throwing it out there and they're going to go down the revenge track. You've seen this before. So this is what I'm going to ask you. So how would you like her to heal it so these people can twang out of her life? And they said, well, it is with the aggression of expanding energy that causes you to get paranoid. So it's like your lesson is to stop learning to be paranoid.
Oh, Lord.
So this means that you're going to have to be more in tune with what is paranoia for you. Some people, it can be very, paranoid that, oh my God, I left the window open. And it's not a big ass deal, but your mind will feel that crazy ass feeling of paranoia. Now, if you know that understanding that the back of your energy is about paranoia, you could learn to train yourself that if your head is like, oh, I feel like I'm, something's touching me. Okay. Your spirit is telling you need to get out of paranoia. You know, when she smacks you in the head.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So she's trying to
paranoia.
She wants you to, change paranoia. Okay.
Yeah, today it's my kids don't love me because my kids got bored being here, so their dad's coming to pick them up.
Okay. But yeah, that's part of paranoia, even though that littlest thing. So your whole thing about paranoia, and I don't think you're in a state right now, but you can just hold your forehead if you could. Part of your paranoia is the fear of judgment.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to eventually, after the show, or when your kids go, or whenever it's feasible for you, is L1D.
Okay.
Okay, and I know Amy's taking notes for you. Yes, Amy? And so
I'm taking notes too.
Good, everybody take notes. And, it's the best thing about rewatching.
Charlie, wash your own head, please.
When you are doing this, understand the paranoia is also, I'm not doing it right. They don't love me, anything. Your homework is to find out what paranoia is. But that holding of the forehead, the L1D, notice it's a lot about judgment. I judge myself. People judge me. I think what other people did think is judging me. Because you're in a crucial state, because you have separated this energy and like who gets the kids, what's going on. There's all of these. And if they can twang you enough and fuck you over enough, then they can start to get what they want.
Yeah.
Okay. The aggression energy, even though it's strong, you got to remember this. And if you were right in front of me, Danny, I would show you how fast you were losing power. When this energy from your back comes all the way around to here and it's down, all they have to do is think, and not even aiming at you. Oh, that Danny. All of a sudden, your body goes twang, and you will feel this, and you won't understand it. It feels like somebody's pushing you over, and you think, oh, that must be, Frida, or whatever her name is.
Freya.
Freya. I knew I said it wrong. I was like, I'm looking over there going, am I going to get hit, bitch, slapped? No, because I knew I said that wrong.
It's funny because that's what that's like the most commonly used verb I think associated with her is I'm gonna get bitch slapped later.
Or maybe that's why I had to go there. But the point is,
In the shower, please. In the water.
your governing meridian needs to be corrected. Right now, the energy is that you're supposed to take this, Danny. Shows me that when you were 4 years old, the governing meridian went down.
Okay.
And the resonating energy is towards yourself that there must be something wrong with me. And that is where you have the insecurity issue. So you can't be creative. You can't even be who you need to be. Just a simple thing of a hookup will help, but yours has to be developed.
Yeah.
The moment this starts to unzips, you can learn to zip that fucker up. But the moment it starts to open up, you instantly go into paranoia because that's about, I have to be on guard. I got to make sure I don't get hurt. So that means we have to take care of what? The fear.
Yes.
The reason that you have to look like you have to look out for it. And it's trapped into the heart, that fear of judgment. That's what you're going to make sure you focus on. The intention, though, if you push your finger in the belly button and hook and lift up, you are going to make sure that you're going to practice this one a lot. You're going to learn how to zip it in your mind. You literally can go zip and then lock it.
No more. Rinse off.
Okay, you can learn how to hook up, but you really have got to become more mindful of when it goes down and more mindful of being a professional at zipping up.
Yes.
Shields up. And literally allow yourself to do this, because if you don't, sweetheart, you're going to cause yourself to keep repeating, and that aggression energy will look like it's winning.
Yes.
When you zip up and that governing meridian around you becomes stronger and you develop to become stronger, you won't feel them. They won't be able to take the energy and feed it. They can go around and throw tantrums, but they're not going to be able to throw it at something, and it's going to come back to them. And then this is where they're going to have the world of hurt. That's their issue.
Good.
But the more you respond, the more you start creating the reality, and we want to change that reality. You do not have to feel it. Okay?
Your towel's up there. Thank goodness, I'm over it. I'm done.
Freya says, I don't understand why you have to go into impending doom.
I know. What is up with that?
It's because of the governing meridian.
Impending doom from the very beginning.
Yeah, she says to be done with that. Okay, just tell me, before we go, just tell me who Freya is to you.
Freya is essentially, she is both the goddess of beauty as well as the goddess of war. She takes no shit from anybody, and she's fantastic.
And she's trying to tell you, why do I go into the beauty? Because I don't really see the war.
Yeah.
But because we live in a land of the reality, this is where we're at, it does exist, but you don't have to lose power to it. Just like with other great leaders, you can bring love to the state of it. And if you watched in class the ghetto physics,
yes,
then you know what archetype you're doing.
Yes.
Now, it's not to choose that I need to become the prostitute or the pimp. It's learning to take your power and creating that third option. And the only way that you're really going to learn to do the third option is learning how to get your egg controlled.
Go.
So we're going to have more work on that, okay?
Yes, unfortunately.
No, thank goodness you
Well,
have.
thank goodness. Thank you, Spirit, with grace and ease.
Yeah, I know
But-
you're stressed right now, but that's okay. I love you.
I'm
love you.
sweating so hard from that.
Yes. And that's also once you learn to hold this up, then they can have that wonderful energy field and you won't
Yes.
have to feel like you're falling to bits either.
Yes.
So you may
Shower
want,
time
I'm going
has
to tell you
been-
one more thing. I want you to imagine literally that you feel, that if you feel like, oh my God, I'm paranoid, to literally touch yourself and bring your hand to the front. Literally pull it, because that's the energy of how it goes, is from your butt all the way up.
Yeah, because I get locked up right here. And it's
Yes.
been happening ever since Shay was born, and I figured they just nicked a nerve when they were doing the epidural.
There's more than that, but
Well, yeah, but
okay. But when we're healing stuff out, we're rolling it out of the governing meridian. But when I'm telling people when they finish healing is to hook it up. So literally you may just want to go, oh my God, I just need to close, not close as much as I need to protect myself, shields up. Because yours just, every time I keep putting it up, it says, but I have to. You feel like you have to be exposed. And I keep saying no, and it says, but I have to. So I want you to look at your have tos. Your thinking alone says, I have to. Usually a have to will be born out of guilt, a sense of duty, a sense of indebtedness, and sense of servitude. And because you hold the past life card of being a servant and a slave, you have to move beyond that.
Hey, what's up? My name's Danny, and I just feel like I have to serve everybody else.
Exactly. And the thing is that you also learned as a child the only way to fit in, that you weren't going to be hurt and you weren't going to be this, is to show your best quality, which is to serve.
Yep.
And that's great, but now it's gone too far. You don't have a line, and you're
I
building
don't
that
have an
line.
identity.
Exactly. Yes, and we
Uh-huh.
want to get back to Danny's identity. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right. I love you, hon.
Love you.
Love you,
See you
Danny.
later.
Or bye. Oh, that was good. Now we're gonna take in. Did we find? Whoops, where'd she go? Marianne Harden. Did we find her? Did we find her? Hello, Bobby. How are you?
Who's the other one? So I can write names
After
down.
Marianne would be Tracy Wallace. I'm looking. I'm not seeing if she came into the room or not.
No.
Okay, so people have paid. I'm not sure where they are. Okay. We're waiting to find them. If you want to come into the room, then this is the number. That's 82318172752. Oh, there she is, Marianne. Okay, found her. Found her. Do you want to come into the room, Marianne, or do you want to do it like this? You choose. Okay, hon, you choose. And then after Marianne, we need to find a Tracy Wallace too. So again, you get to choose, and then if
Don't need to be seen.
okay, she says. So Marianne, also give me a topic too. And Tracy, if you have a topic you want to talk about, you're more than welcome to ask me through here. That's fine. Okay, I'm here. Okay. I'm going to set the timer, and I'm going to push start, and then I'll look up. People will tell me, and if she, a complex self what fear.
Oh, somebody's
What?
here.
Oh, ooh, somebody's here. Hold on, let's find out. Our Sam said, hey, is that you, my love? Is that Marianne?
Hello.
Hello.
How are y'all?
Hey. Goody.
I'm about to get into.
I appreciate
the
it. Okay, I'll start that thing over. Okay, you tell me, sweetheart, once you get comfortable, where and what would you like to talk about? Where do you want to talk about? What do you want to
I've just been, whatever spirit wants to tell me, I think a lot of inner child probably.
Okay.
What we're gonna say.
All right. Well, you have some people on the other side that are coming through, and you have two people. They said you should recognize this. They're coming. I don't know if your parents are on the other side or not, but they come
No,
through.
ma'am.
Okay, and so they come through as more of a mom and dad. They're a really strong, energetic parental aspect. And they said, "Do you remember the days when we were really erratic energy and just shit's flying all over?" Just saying.
That's a lot of people. That
All right.
that sounds like maybe my grandparents because they were like my parents.
Okay. But they said just notice that the erratic energies, the up and down energies, was also very overbearing, and it would force you to correct yourself. How to get a child to behave was to get them to correct themselves, was to throw energy at them, so that their squeaky wheel was louder, so they were heard and you weren't. Does that sound about right? Oh, and she froze. No. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay, if that's it, so be it's frozen energy. So paralyzed will. Is that, ooh, it has. I know, I love the accent too.
Me too.
Wishy-washy. Hopefully she'll come back. Ooh, sort of. Even though I'm talking and because of the timer, habits. Well, at least she gets to rewatch this. There's wishy-washy habits. Because how do you know who you're going to be? Literally, how do you know? Because there's an impending, what? Unrequited love. So there's a chemistry going one way. Oh, Marianne, you there yet?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'll stop for just a second. She may have to, I don't know if she can hear me, you may have to hang up and then come back into the room. That's possible. So let me just talk about this with her and with you, since you understand. Oh, she's got it. Almost. Yay. Okay, now we just got to get the mic now. There, we got the mic again. So she had to find a different room. Oh, so you're one of those that has to take the camera or the phone and go, where is the signal? Well, we can do it again.
Not normally, but usually it's great.
Okay, so just
Yeah.
stand
Well,
still.
no, it's my husband's is in the microwave.
Ah!
Are you on the phone?
Okay, such timing, isn't it? But it helps us because it's about paralyzed will. And that means that sometimes you don't want to put your will forward in any certain relationships or certain situation because it doesn't feel quite right. Okay? And what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
It means that when you have unrequited love, that means that you'll love to do something, but it doesn't love you back. Whether it's, say, an idea, a person, a situation, and you're just like, here we go again. So you're showing me the dark night of the soul is that it's looping. And even something that you deeply love, you have a lens that doesn't allow you to see the love coming back. Also, I see that you were taught that it's better to give than receive. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, you need to change that damn thing. Let me tell you why.
Not necessarily taught, just it was embedded in me, I guess.
Oh, it's embedded in you, all right. Yeah, and it's even part of a past life. Because let me tell you what this really means. We live in a world of opposites, okay? If you're choosing to just give and not to receive, you're going to create nothing to be in sync. So if you give too much, now you're going to create spiritual debt. And I think you're also taught that how to show respect is to give it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Say that again. Were you taught? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think the problem is that if you have all these filters, then you can give respect, but you can't receive respect. If you are giving because it's better to give than to receive, can you see how it stops every part of receiving?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I don't know, probably 2 weeks ago. That was definitely something I had to work on because it's something that's been with me my whole life, and a lot of it has to do with the past life where I was in a gypsy family where I was a beggar. And
Yep.
I've always said, I'm not a beggar. I don't want anybody to think I'm a beggar. Like, that's always been something I've always thought.
Right. That's about
I'd rather
wounded
work.
pride too. So you got
Yes.
wounded pride stuck in there, and that doesn't make a good. Well, we just asked how your life is.
Yeah.
See how let's put this
Right.
toil and trouble. Let's add
Just
all
let
this
me
shit.
do it all on my own.
Yes. Okay. So now what we have to do is we have to understand that this. I'm gonna look at this. Wow. I've never. Okay. So they're saying that because of all these little things, you've learned to withhold your energy. You're like, oh, not mine. Okay. You hurt me. Mine. Okay. So because you were like, okay, now I'm older, your little China goes, mine. Okay. And the reason I can understand that is because it's like the last cookie, the one that you're eating.
Oh,
Isn't
man.
that you don't want to share? It just happens to be like you all got yours. Why are you trying to smack Katie on my cookie? It's my cookie, mine. And of course somebody really wanted it, so they lied to you and convinced that it was. You're being selfish, Marianne. You need to share that cookie, and you're thinking, but you all had a cookie. Why are you going after my cookie? You logically are trying to figure it out, and they're all trying to convince you you're crazy.
Of course.
Yeah, yes, and it puts a spell on you. It really messes with your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you fight with yourself. What's the right way? What's the right thing to do? What's the wrong thing to do? So you spend a lot of time in the right and wrongville.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what's happening here. So you have this one person, Grandma just stepped up. She goes, oh, that'd be me. She says, you have to do the right thing. And then she changes her mind 2 seconds later, and you're like, but the right thing, now you're not doing the right thing. Do as I say, not as I do. There's a lot of confusion because you're looking what is the right thing to do externally. But with each person, it can change a billion times. Or it changes from one person to the next. Maybe this person's really restricted saying
Double
this
standards. Yes.
And you're looking and saying, who is right? Because
Exactly.
you're all right and you're all freaking wrong. That's what I look at it is. And I'm learning to find
I've learned that as I've got older. Like, my whole family, they've always claimed that they are, in the truth. Okay. But I've never got the truth from any of them, really. So
wasting your time on
therefore, like, now I realize that, some people are just perceive things differently. They're going to,
right.
Seems like they're delusional whenever they think I'm delusional.
And they're not going to change. So stop wasting your time. They're saying that you have learned one of the biggest things with all of that, and that love is unreceived. My love, no matter how much I like, I'll try to deliver it this way, or I'll try to, it's unreceived.
Yeah, because unless I was who they wanted me to be, that I wasn't good enough. So I'm just me.
Wounded. You're wounded, and your false self, the pride, is like, oh God, and that's a big ass twang. You're meant to heal that one so that it can start pulling out of all of those and say, nope, I'm unplugging from all that freaking reality.
Exactly. I've been trying to do the whole cord cutting thing on that. That's exactly what I've been working on.
You have to go a little deeper. Oh, crap. Time's ran out. So if you've seen me enough, I can't remember if you have or not. Like, I'll tell people to hold up their hand. You too are going to work through the heart filters. So you're going to have L1D. So you're going to make sure you hold up your left hand, put your thumb there. Okay, so you understand how this goes. And you push in your thumb. You're going to take, and when you're not being busy, okay, all the shit we just talked about, you're going to measure it. Now, because there's quite a few, you may have to take a journal and write single ones down, but still
that's part of
measure
my thing anyway.
Okay, and you're going to heal it out. And you're going to focus on that, and you're going to notice it's all going to change, because you got to get that power back. You have so much spiritual debt going on. We need to call yourself back home. That's the other thing you're going to do is you're like, at the end of the night, oh, yep, there it is. There's the double standards. I call myself back home, and you just start to bring yourself back, call yourself back. Again, if you're worried that their shit's coming with it, just pull up a purple heart with dancing violet flames and pull it through the heart. Okay. Okay, your biggest one though is going to be how you're going to change your mindset. And you're going to just say, I'm done with that. You really will be. Now, don't think positive thoughts because I can see you going in going, oh, bitch, bitch. Oh, thinking positive thoughts. No, the whole point is healing. Okay, you need to heal the roots. Roots. Don't just cut them at the tops. You need to heal the roots, which means you have to stick with that negative thinking until the negative thinking dissolves itself. Don't just go into, oh, I got to think happy thoughts. No, you've learned to overcome, but that's just keeping the lid on the shit. And as soon as the jack in the box, goes the weasel. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of shit. So we don't want that. You understand?
No. Yes.
You don't want to think positive thoughts when you're doing this. Aim it, get it done, get it out, clean out the latrine. You can do this. My
Can't
shitter's
keep
full.
making excuses.
Yeah, so you got the I'm shitter's full. That's funny. Okay.
But yes, I love that. That's funny.
All right. You got this. I want to see some growth. And you may want to come to the tribal too, because
Oh, I do. I definitely do.
I see you growing. You keep doing it, and I'm glad you are awakening. Remember, everybody's got it right and everybody's got it wrong, and that you're going to find your own. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming
so
on. All right. Namaste, babe.
Namaste.
Well, that was fun. I love when Spirit does it. All right. I'm Tracy.
Tracy is on her way in.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what does Dale have to say today? Shoot, I'm not supposed to. Damn movies and such a. The movies. Oh, my God, Dale. Let me tell you, I'm so annoyed by watching certain TV shows, but there are certain things that I can't remember. There was a show called Teachers in England, UK, and it's just people that have not evolved. And every 2 seconds they're lighting up. Now, I love that show, but the only problem is, as an ex-smoker, what do? You inhale and inhale, and you're like, no! I don't even want imaginary smoking going on. I have no connection to wanting to smoke, but there is that old remembrance pattern.
Yep.
And it's like, so I find myself, no. And so it's like, I want to watch, I thank God the series is over for us, but it pulls you right in. And I'm like, talk about brainwashing.
Mm-hmm.
Stressed, need one. No, stressed. So during that show, I found myself going like this. I'm like, at least I know how the tool works. That blue elephant again, Eureka. So he's fascinated with your blue elephant. Is that
my
it?
blue elephant.
Yes.
I like the blue elephant too.
Somebody just entered this space. Where's LaRonda?
I believe she's in the room. Her little
There's
boy,
Tracy.
Her little boy and I, we have play dates on the phone now.
Aw.
And we play with the filters. And he heard
So you get your fill. You get your fill.
I do. And I don't.
And I saw that one with the basketball aimed at your face.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be funny.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I actually got up to like 120.
Ooh, so were you smacking mainly the little boy's face, or were you aiming for LaRonda's too?
No, it was just a little boy and I, and you had to move your phone to move your head.
Oh, that's how you do it.
So that the ball would go in the basket.
Right. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Oh, well, we'll have to FaceTime sometime. And play with filters.
I'll have to put a diaper on if I'm going to laugh. I'll probably pee myself so hard. Just kidding. Although I'm not. But anyway, what can I say? Okay, so we're going to do it like this then.
I sent her the link. I don't know.
Not sure either. When you get a lot out of this information, this is the beautiful part, is people are waking up, and I love it. And if you can share, and if you can allow yourself to move into a direction that allows you to use it in that everyday language, you're going to help set the tone to set things straight. It's what do I mean by setting it straight? You're choosing the reality of alignment you want. Do you want to go to hell? Do you want to have dictation? Dictatorship? What do you want? No matter if that's going on as a collective, you can hone in on you by resolving your issues and aligning up to the point of you can aim for joy. Tracy is here and she says she wants to do it just like this, I think. Or am I imagining it? I swear to God, I keep seeing it. I wonder if my husband's anywhere close by. No. Darn. Oh, Dale, I have my heater. Yay! Thank you. Thank you very much, Dale.
Oh,
Okay.
yay. So
But
now
I
you're
need my
toasty?
No, yeah, well, it's toasty. Yeah, I need my coffee warmer, which Amy is sending me one. But I would like the magic man to come through the door and just say, here, let me fill up your coffee cup. But my husband's probably outside. So this man loves to be creative and do things outside. And we
Does
just,
he by chance have his phone with him?
honey, this man doesn't even know what a phone looks like, I swear. No, he's not the type of guy that's hooked into the phone, any of that. So I have to see if he's at the, he's working. Yes, he's working on the Oasis. Yes. We bought some mortar. So this man's in heaven. If you can give, like Diana knows, if she drops it off rocks, we do need rocks, by the way, Diana. Red ones, red rocks, the little red rocks. And because we have a feature out back by the pool, that's where the Oasis is. And that's what he's looking for. Little red rocks, big red rocks. So that's one feature he's working on. So do we have the ETA on Tracy? I mean, I know she's here, but did she say she wants to do it in the room or here? I'm just going to start. We're doing something towards ourselves. So is it something we're saying to ourselves? Is it something that way we discipline? It's a reaction. So it's a habit. It's a habit and a reaction that she does to herself that limits herself in her growth. Because there's certain ego things she's doing that makes her feel bad. So she's making her, oh, there she is.
Yes.
Let me stop the timer again. Hey, are you in the car, woman? Ooh, hold on. Audio, come on, connect. Tracy, can you hear me? Oh, it's still connecting. Almost, Tracy. We're getting, yes.
There.
Hello.
Yay, we got her.
Sorry, I'm in my car, so sorry.
That's okay. Hey, we appreciate it. All right, Tracy, they said that you're doing, I started it already, but they said that what you're doing is you're an ego and you make yourself feel bad. Is that true?
Yeah, sometimes, but I don't want to anymore. And
okay, so do you know why you make yourself feel bad? Is it all consistent or is it just everything?
No, it's not consistent because I think I just feel bad about certain things sometimes.
Oh, just a feeling bad. Is it in the body?
I'm sure it is.
Okay, let me tell you how this goes. I feel that there's a certain amount of time of the day that if you don't have, so your quota to feel bad is about 88%. And if you don't do it, then you have to have somebody else do it. And what I'm seeing is that, go ahead.
No, sorry. I also deal with like physical pain. So that is in the body and some of that I can and cannot change.
Okay, but yes, that's all connected because they're pointing to the bladder meridian. The bladder meridian goes through the whole body from head to toe. And in the back, it covers a lot of area. They're saying that usually between 3 and 5 p.m., whether it's in the morning, a.m. or p.m., this is where your body's going to go, hey, it's time for Tracy to feel bad. And then all of a sudden, your body's consciousness will begin to make you feel bad. And you'll be sitting there happy, and the next minute your brain just kind of drifts right into feeling bad. Do you understand?
Okay, yeah.
Your body's consciousness has the program. You developed it at 3 years old, and it said that I am supposed to feel bad because that's how I'm supposed to raise myself as a child. Okay, how do you get kids to behave? You make them feel bad.
You do it or you die. The mom looks at you like you either behave or.
Yes, you understand. My mother had these blue eyes at the moment she looked at you. You're like, holy shit, I'm dead. Nope, I'm still here. Yes. Okay. So you're definitely old school like me. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So yes, you have this. You know, when you saw that happen, you turned around on yourself and go, I have to check in. I'm bad. I must be. I've done something wrong. And a lot of it is that whatever issue they're doing, you would look and see mom do something or dad doing something, and whatever energy they gave off, you would immediately think, I've done something. I got to
Yeah, I thought it was probably my fault, or yeah, exactly.
Yes. And so what happens there is that you don't want to do this anymore. You're waking up, Tracy. You're like, everything's going better. I'm doing a lot of healing. I'm doing it. But how do I shake that bad feeling? Now, if you try to consciously, without any tools, go, okay, I'm going to stop this bad habit, your internal clock's going to go, but we can't. You have like,
but I did today, because I had a moment today, and I was like, okay, what would Brenda do?
Exactly. So
I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's the right one. I said my name 3 times. I did the thing on my head, and I just cried.
Good, get it out. Yes. Now, they said there's a word, the part of it, the reason why you have a safety checkpoint is because the fear of being controlled. You were controlled at one point so severe that you don't want to feel it ever again.
Oh no, I don't want to be controlled.
Yeah, so you've been fighting the system for a while. And because of that, but now here's the conflict within Tracy. One side says, oh, we have to be the good girl because, whatever reason. And then it says the real reason is because we don't want to be controlled, and we have to discipline ourselves, and we have to show up so that my family will love me. Look, I'm doing it right, and all of this. Oh, did you just spill something on your lap?
Oh, sorry. No.
No, that's fine. So then the other side of you is like, I'll be damned if I'm going to be controlled. So you have this wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're waking up from it. You're waking up from it. So I'm asking Spirit, what should she do? You have to begin to learn that you do the have tos. You literally need to notice that's a have to. Take it and write a journal.
I do notice everything. It's just a matter of filtering it once I notice it.
Now, hold on. Here's the thing. You're waking up, you're noticing it, but if you don't write it down and witness it, you will be put back to sleep and then get it to worse than the first. Do you hear that?
Yes.
Your brain, if you're not using a tool and you're not writing it down and you're not witnessing, you're going to think about it, memorize it, and you're going to get it worse than the first, and it's going to put yourself back to sleep. So you have to repeat as the day before and repeat the day before.
No, I think I am doing more witnessing of it. I right when it's happening,
Okay. So if you know the have to, if you know the very specific have to that's happening, then you will actually begin to stop yourself of going, there it is. And it's the feeling of, hold on. Thank you, dear. I love you. My magic man showed up. Okay, so when you feel like love is lost, then the control is going to come in, and that's the part that scares you.
Yeah.
And so I would tell you, Tracy, you need to do L1D, left wrist first, position D. When you become aware that you can feel the love disappearing, you actually can tell what kind of control is going to come in, what's going to be said, how it's going to be, all of this. Literally, you can do this. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to start focusing on. Again, don't go into happiness, stay in that negative, feel it. You have to feel it because it's stored. It's creating the complex within inside yourself. And so you have to wake up both sides, but you have to wake up to whichever side wants to communicate, which means the thought processing will you're going to try to convince yourself to go back to sleep. Another part of you will convince you to try to wake up, but heal it out. Just be patient with yourself. You can do this.
Oh no, the trigger today was, I had a card pull last night from a friend, and she's like, well, I divorced, and it's been 2 years, and I'm like good with everything, but she's like, he still has a key to your heart. And that made me angry because I don't want that, All
right, let me look. Does he have a key to your heart? Okay, I don't see in those terms of key to the heart.
Okay.
What I see is you have the fear of being controlled which sets in as a filter in the heart, because you want to make sure that you never get treated that way again. So it's like, I can forgive myself for choosing that, but I don't want to forget, so I can keep the learning so it doesn't happen again. The problem with not forgetting is that I want you to take the wisdom eventually off that, so that you can disengage that energy with him. The lesson is not, I got to hold this up and remember how damaged I am, because that only keeps repeating the hell. So I take what we just said, apply that to the L1D as well. And because of the way the words were arranged from your friend, that made you come up with a different story. Okay.
Right. No, I see that. I see that.
Okay.
Yes.
So the fear of that one, and now you feel a lot better. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what you're going to do, sweetheart. And
I
appreciate you coming in and wanting to take care of this, because we're going to take care of this fighting yourself. Now, you may even be witnessing that when you're holding L1D, is this fighting of yourself. Okay.
Oh yeah. No, I follow everything you say. I get it.
Good. Measure
Thank
it,
you.
get it done, and let's hear you talk later. And I'm glad to see you in the trial.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, honey. Oh, let's push
Bye.
the right button. That's such a funny thing. I can't ever get the button right. Oh, there's Lily. What do we have? Whoops, that's not right. Where's the button?
Dale has
Oh, Dale.
Pay it forward
For a Jackie.
for Jackie O'Sullivan.
Ooh, Dale, we love you.
He is downloading Zoom possibly.
Awesome. You guys are on the ball. Okay, so we'll talk and wait for oh, I can't download Zoom? Oh, wait. Oh, it's an app. Maybe you have to do the app. I don't know if you're on the phone or the computer, but like if we send you the link, you click on the link, it'll open up an app.
Yeah, but I don't.
All right. So what's Dale going on about this white elephant and blue elephant? What's the story with the elephants? Yeah, I understand that elephant. Dale, you're gonna have to explain yourself, mister.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's an ancient knowledge that's coming through, but okay. So Jackie, if you can't do it, we'll do it like this. This is fine. You just tell me what you would like to talk about. If not, I'll just do a cold read and let Spirit tell you what you want to address. But it's up to you, hon. Oh, you guys are just really cool. I love y'all. Can it be done by a phone call? Oh, the type of call, what we can do now. Am I friends with her?
No.
Hey, are you friends with her?
No.
No. Okay, so that's gonna throw that out.
Although Jackie friend requests me, and we can.
Okay, so if you become, the reason why you friend request on Facebook is so that we can go into Messenger, even if it's not a friend request, but a Messenger request, then we can open up the phone line through Facebook and we can hear you.
Yes.
I didn't mean to take over. What's that?
This is Lily, in case anybody's wondering.
How old is Lily?
Lily is, I believe, 16 this year.
Wow. Oh, and then Lily wasn't in a playful mood because she's getting old. Well, you see those bobble wands over on her desk over there. She took a bobble wand and then she started to work on Lily. You know, and it's just moving energy, but she had an intention. I want to clear this energy off Lily. And all of a sudden Lily became what?
Yeah, she's looking at me like, oh, that feels kind of good, Ma.
And then what happened?
And then she started playing and throwing shit around the house.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is awesome.
It's a younger cat. She actually got the proof.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, right, I'm not in the Facebook Live. I'm doing it through Zoom. That's the only problem. But we could do that. Do you see what Vicki wrote? Because there's a Facebook Live button, but don't we still have to be friends?
No, but we don't have that. I don't think.
But see, if you go on your computer, we could do that. But then I don't want a double volume overcast either. But
Yeah. No,
All right, she
we
says,
don't have that button, Vicky, because it's not on her personal page.
all right, so let's just do this. Okay,
But you can take
because
me off
Jackie said
screen
it's fine.
now.
All right, Jackie. What is doom? Behaviors. Over. Lack. So do you have lack in your life, and do you have a behavior with that lack? And does that mean that, how do you want to put it? No, that's it. Do you have a behavior? I mean, is there lack in your life? Is there behavior that comes from that lack, which sounds about right? And that lack has to do with criticism. So it means a lack of yourself, a lack of confidence. And it is the lack that came in when you had invading energies of when you were 2 years old, that caused, are you pointing to envy? So you had somebody in your life that had to do with envy. Now, I always tell my students to make sure that, well, I always tell my students to make sure they spell it right first. A feeling of look up the word, feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possession, quality, or luck. Now, the movie with Jack Black with Envy, that was actually pretty good. And so the reason they're bringing up that movie has to do with that. This person came into some money, and they didn't change who they are. They started to flourish their friends with it because they wanted to share their wealth, because they're just like, oh my God, this good thing happened to me. I want to give it to you. But at the same time, even though the other people were like, oh, sure, flash your money around. Oh, sure, do this. Oh, sure. And they were mad because they didn't have it and you did. And they felt there was all this power play. Okay. So now all of a sudden my nose is tickling, and I want to sneeze, and I want to feel, oh, yes, Jackie, this is for you. Criticism. Look at, it's okay, is it how you hear it? It's about how you deliver it. It's about the way you speak. So there's some behavior that you're doing that has a way of speaking. Then understand the way we talk and the way we think are like spells. And if we want to manifest something from the universe, you keep manifesting something very particular. You have an emotionally repressed thing? What's going on? Bullied. Okay, so invading information, so invading energies. Do you feel like you've ever been, bullied to the point where it hurt? Is that the word I want? Condescending? Ooh, I wonder if that is it. Condescending. It's important to look up, like I said, certain words. Having or showing an attitude of, or patronize. Oh, yes. Let's see. And it is a yes, and it's interesting because it's a yes. It's a habit. Yes, something there. And then there's this wrestle that I'm a good person. Damn it, I'm not the enemy. Now, what happens with this is that you're trying to speak your truth, trying to talk, but you're stuck in a habit. They're asking you to wake up. So as you start to wake up, the fear of belonging. If I fear of belonging, there's a okay. The fear of belonging is, okay, let's say you want to belong, but let's say there's two groups, a positive group and a negative group. And there's a part of you that's like, well, if I want to belong, but I have a fear of belonging because the story's going to happen again. High school was bad for bullying. Yes. Okay. So there's a certain longing that you would like, but the problem is the way that you were bullied really confuses you, because that kind of filters of what friends, what you want, because that'll come through and it'll rear its ugly head. And without realizing that past issue keeps doing this to you, it throws you off again and again and again. And it doesn't, oh, okay. They said that I can't be me, which means there was some behavior that you had. Okay, so did you have a behavior that you had that you got rid of? Because it reminded me too much of those bullies. So I kicked it out of my life. Like, so let's say you had to become bossy. And you like, oh, but I don't like that trait because that reminds me of that time. So I'm going to cut, okay, I'm not going to be bossy. I'm going to cut this out, and then I'm going to show that I'm going to be an extra good person. But what happens is there's creating another entanglement. So then all of a sudden you lose power, and other people will look like they're bullying you even more, because now they're going to have that extra space where you said, I am not going to be this. Instead of healing the root, it just creates another story. So they're looking at the structure of this, of how you coped. And they're saying with this coping tool, it end up, you're petrified, you create a coping tool, you started going in. And if you listen, sounds very convoluting, but what it is it's about, I got to protect myself. And then I got to protect myself. And what really you want to heal out of your body is feeling petrified. It literally made you feel, and this again, I would be looking up petrified. Petrified. It is so frightened that one is unable to move. Kind of go into like petrified wood. It just like, okay. If that's the case, then you need to heal out that knowing of how it feels like to be petrified wood, not to be petrified, so frightened, because you're stuck in that little sliver of time. The best way to do it is to take it in chunks, because it's also a coping tool and it's part of a safety blanket. Put your hand here. So you want me to continue with this, Dale? Is that what you said? Dale, tell me what you mean. Do you want me to continue, keep working with Jackie on this?
I believe that's what it means, yes.
Okay. The one thing that goes on, and this still is for Jackie, just so I understand if that's correct. It's better if she was here, but what happens is that, do you sometimes feel that, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get past this petrifiedness. I'm going to do it. Now, this is without any tool. I'm going to do it. The first thing that's going to start happening is you're going to start feeling like the foundation of the solid floor becomes very unstable. Now, you may not notice the funny feeling in your body, but you will with your sound, your vision, your sensory system, because they will begin to become heightened. And when they become very high, it'll get your attention. Your nerves will begin to respond to, you have to be on guard. I mean, literally, I'm looking for the attack. I'm looking for that moment. I'm looking for that. So I'm going to tell you. What? It's a very bad memory. Yes, I see it. We're going to go back. So there's a 2-year-old, this bad memory. I'm going to need to go deeper on something here. No. Okay. Is this? No. Keep going. Aha. What about the encoding life theme? Okay. So there is a past, whether it's a past life, genetic coding, an epigenetic aspect, which means it came through the following of the line of the family. You can look, but there is definitely an encoding, which means it has to repeat itself. And it can't really do a fractal so it can get out. It keeps going in the same particular position. Now it says that the life theme, the end of your aura, the outside is your life theme. Okay, it'll be a certain color of a life theme, and one of the colors, It will tell you this is how behavior and this is how you're going to react and this is what you're going to do when you interact with others. And this, so it's a life theme. And that means that you chose to want to really learn about it and let it go. And in the whole process of, well, I haven't learned my lesson. Well, the point is, it's part of that letting go. What in the hell does that even mean? Okay. You know, when you have to fart and you holding it in, you have to literally learn to relax those muscles that hold on to it, which is the fear and all of this, and relax and let it go. Sometimes you may just let it go by pushing it out. It's like when you're giving birth, let it go. When it's the process of that natural feeling of knowing when you're holding on too tight to just let it go. And if you're angry and you can't let it go, when you begin to heal, and I'm going to tell you, you need to start putting your hand here. You need to start getting the blood to come back up to your forebrain, because you have to get yourself out of that locked stress state. Okay. As you do this, your thoughts will begin to change. In the lesson that you will already start to observe the lessons, because you are learning a tool, you're using a tool, and you're doing little things, actually will begin to stop you from wiring, saying you have to memorize this until you beat it to death. And it's like, and then you have to memorize it some more. No, you don't have to keep rehearsing it in your mind again and again and again. So you're going to put your hand on your head. That'll be your first one. There's all these free healing tools that you can do, especially the pictures. But again, this is a safety blanket. So you have to really learn how to let go of that particular emotion. And they said one of the emotions that you have to let go of is being forced to pay attention. Look at my, when you're forced to pay attention and you don't, there's a consequence. That is what you're petrified of, is the consequence. What triggers you is the looking of the me. And it's like, if you learned that if you don't do this, then something's going to take your attention, because you were in the act of, I don't want to look, but you're also in the act that I have to pay attention, because it's a have to. But it's like, if I don't, everything will heighten. My emotions and my thoughts and my sensory system will heighten. And this is what happens when you try to quit smoking, is that everything will try to take your attention. Like this morning, I couldn't understand why I needed to see this, but now I do. We have a bird, and Joey is a lorikeet, and man, he can throw his little voice when he's like, I'm throwing a tantrum. I want, look at me, take me outside. I want this, that I'm like, God, you're loud this morning. So I just took him in his cage, put him in the back room, shut the door, so it buffered. Until you can learn how to take and tap out, heal out, change out those emotions to change the sensory system's heightenedness, you'll need a buffer. Sometimes you may need to put in, earplugs, nice and loose, but tight enough, you can still interact with the world, but it buffers. Seriously, Betty, this is for you too. You may want to just buffer, because it's getting your attention. To heal out, it's getting my attention. Not just I have to pay attention, but it's getting my attention. Is that if you could, Jackie, just to apply left hand here, you're going to put your thumb right there, and then you're going to push your thumb in deep, finger here, wrap these three around. Good thing it's on video, eh? And then you're going to place it like this. And then you're going to feel your heightenedness. And you're going to, and see, for me, I always rock, but you're going to focus on that, and focus on that, and focus on that. And what's going to happen is that your body's going to stop being so stressed. Okay. And then you stay there until you feel like it's gone. For Jackie, for you and anybody else that's going through this, you need to take, I'm getting there, is I need you to feel it. Now get up and walking around. Walking will start producing those chemical peptides that are healthy, that will balance. But when you breathe in and you breathe out, that's when you're going to hold your breath. It's like this. Now, when I breathe out, I push the air out. I make the diaphragm move. And so it's like this. And then I suck the diaphragm up. And if you do it right, you'll hear this gasping for air. And you can hold it up to as long as you can, 8 seconds or more, whatever. And then it's going to rush the energy in, the oxygen. What's happening is you're going to trip so that your sympathetic, which you think you want, no, it's the stress, will start to bring it over to the parasympathetic. So you're working with the autonomic nervous system, and you're going to learn to help the body. Now you may have to do several rounds so that your body can just kind of feel. So that's helping to let go of this. Okay. And then after you're all done that, then all of a sudden get your heart in sync. So just breathe in the count of 5. Hold, sometimes people hold, sometimes you don't. I feel like in the way you need to hold. So you just hold it, maybe a count of 2, and then you let it out, count of 5. But when you feel like you're synchronized, then you can do the count of 5 in and the 5 count out without holding your breath. And you literally can start creating this synchronization. And if you allow yourself to just start to just relax, if you can bring this air down into your stomach and become aware, and place your hand on your stomach too, becoming aware, you can form a grounding, which means you're not going to be out here. And then kind of bring your thoughts down to your toes. Feel them in your socks or your shoes or on the floor or the carpet, whatever, if it's cold or hot. Feel the temperatures, feel everything. Maybe take a drink of water. Feel the temperature change as you drink. And literally you can feel it go down and how it can hit the stomach. Be aware of how it touches the palate, the teeth, the gums. Hear yourself swallowing. It's learning how to focus inward. Because when you're at heightened, all of your vortexes, because we have not just the chakra vortexes, we have personal vortexes. They will go out and they will suck in shit they don't need to suck in. So by coming in and you taking a grounding and you flip that switch, and the whole time you can just keep your hand there too. And you literally will begin to balance and come back to that part of yourself that you can feel better. Okay? So we thank Dale for that extra time for her. That was wonderful. Okay, so let's take any 1 minutes.
Okay. This one I'm not exactly sure when I received it, but it supposedly came during the last show.
Oh, okay.
I did not receive it during the show.
No, sometimes it comes afterwards. Mail.com's good, but yet has issues. Go ahead.
Madison Amy.
Okay. So even if they're not here, are they here?
Not that I know of.
All right, timestamp it, and we may have to put it on the page or somehow contact them, because we could go that extra mile. Because, I mean, if they're not aware of it, then I wasted it.
Right.
So if we know who Madison Amy is, that's not all right. A lot of habits. She's looking at a lot of habits, and which distracts her, and she feels deficient, that she's not structural or habitual, or maybe she's too strong. But the point is that it's like she's comparing, and she feels there's no confidence. So the lack of confidence, the lack of hope starts to pop up. And this habit within her actually causes her to feel unworthy. And they're saying that it creates a certain sadness. So throughout the day, if she's not aware of any of that, she'll start to feel sad, and she won't know why. And they said it's because it's hooked to how the dark night of the soul. She needs to move past one of her particular, which is that one, that they want her to get out and get rid of. Because they said what happened is that around 3 years old, she learned to give up on herself, give up on expectations. So because of that controls this moment, and she can't move forward. So heal out how you know what giving up expectations are. Use a tool. Okay, who's next?
Pilly.
Who?
Miss Pilly.
Miss Pilly. Mm. Well, what the heck? I was gonna say I started to see sinus issue, and then it cleared up, and then I see snow, and then it's like no, and then all of a sudden it's like she's happy, and okay, so you have, where are we going? They're pointing to the word indecisive, and they're pointing to indecisive debt, karmic money. What are you talking about? The way she spends the energy. Outside herself, inside. What are you referring to? Oh, gotcha. It's a repulsion. I got it. So get to that page. And they said that there's an intolerance that you eat something and there's an intolerance. And then what happens is that it was acquired. So that means that the way the body over time has acquired something. And they said that it affects the structural aspect of you. And then it puts you into a -3 repulsion state. Before we go any further, take what I just said, put it on a piece of paper, put it on your thymus. And Miss Pilly, I haven't put this healing tool up on the wall, but it's repulsion and compassion. So take what I just said, put it on, here. You breathe in, hold your breath, do 2 rounds of this tapping, and then let it out. Hold your breath, do 2 rounds of tapping, and then you pant. 2 rounds of this, and then normalcy. You're going to probably have to do several of those rounds. And there's another process that goes with it, but I can't think of it right now. But just by doing that and then do it again later, you won't have to do as many rounds. But what's going to happen is if you know the thing that you're ingesting, which is food or water, so ingestation is that, like, it could be several things. Then there's a whole, you may just have to set up an appointment because there's a whole picture connection from one certain side of the brain that's causing this. But the simple tool of taking this, and if you're like saying, oh, it's, some people think it's wheat, it could be just the glyphosate. Or if it's certain things that you have acquired, meaning something makes you nauseous or sick, like certain oatmeal, certain things like this will bother me. Just the other day, I'm sitting in bed and my husband likes working outside, so we bought him some mortar. I'm literally having a physical attack towards mortar. And it took me back to when I was 3 years old when my dad was building the foundation in the house. But I'm sitting there in bed and I'm coughing. My body's getting sick. And I can't smell, by the way, because my frequency of connecting with everybody is smell. So I'm like, oh my God, all I can smell is like wood chips or something. I could not place it. And my husband, we have a neighbor that his smokestack's equally right, because the yard goes down, but his smokestack's like right there. So it accumulates in our backyard. So I can't go out there during winter. And I thought it was all over his clothes. So I said, could you take your clothes? And, he said, sure. So he took it off. And, but then it was on his hands. And then he says, oh, that smell that you're smelling or your body is breathing, because my lungs will tell me when I'm smelling something, I'll start coughing. He says, that's mortar. I said, really? I have no idea what mortar smells like. Now I shut that off. And then when I started to investigate, I realized what it was attached to. So I went and got some mortar, put it in a plastic baggie, put the offensiveness on my thymus, and I did this repulsion compatibility. And then he's sitting there, I can smell it, but my body is like, oh, yeah, we're over that. So I just have to recheck back in to make sure that my body withstands that. I don't have to respond that way to that. And because I pulled it out, it was stuck in my right brain. And that picture was associated being yelled at and screamed at. And the mortar was part of that engram. Okay. All right. Who's next?
Everybody is thanking Dale for paying it forward.
Ah, yes, Dale, you sweet thing. So that's what we love about paying it forward, random acts of kindness, to be able to do something that, maybe easy for you, but for others it's not. But he's found value in little things. No, he's found value in what I'm doing, or he finds value in what's happening. But he was able to help in such a way, and we're thankful for that. Just like when Pilly did the other day. There's amazing how people can do. And y'all seem to get more information. I love how Spirit says, just keep going. I'm like, all right, I have no idea about time. This is why I think we have Amy, the moderator. Brenda, you've been on 4 hours. What?
Yep.
I'm sorry, that does not seem.
Then we probably go another 4 and still, but that's an awful long time.
Yeah. Yeah. But yes, I have to learn to not get burned out. So I have to set my priority wheel.
Yes. Okay,
so that's good. Pilly says I sneeze and get a runny nose every time after I eat. All right. So here's the thing. If you allow yourself to know what offensive, and if it's to everything, then you're going to have to slowly understand it's not so if it's a carrot, it may be something that's somebody's bad, going, I hate these carrots, I hate doing this job, so we don't know if it's emotions, we don't know if it's frequency, we don't know, we just know it's energies of certain thing. Could be a chemical on top of that, but
Stacy, yes, I got your email.
All right, so we have the emails. Yes, that's good.
Oh, we have quite a few. Nothing.
Okay. Nothing.
Take me off the big screen too.
What's that?
You can take me off the screen.
No, the moment you hide yourself, I shows up that you're not on there.
Yeah, I know. But then you can't see me.
Oh, I see what you're asking me. I silly. There you go. I got it now, Ames.
I love you, Brenda.
Yeah, you got to remember when I'm channeling, sometimes.
I know.
I get it. Okay.
Love you. Nethy is the next one.
Yes. All right. Nethy. You've been bulldozed over. What are you, under the dirt? Where are you at? Is that how you survive? This is what people do to me. They bulldoze me. All right, Nethy. You have a petrified energy, but that's also where your safety net. You're like, I can't move here. I'm not going to move. And literally, you will go into false self-assuredness that I have to stay this way. I got to keep this personality because it keeps me safe. You don't realize it, but understand false self-assuredness. False self-assuredness is like, well, I had to do that. Yeah, it's also like a self-justification, but the false self-assuredness it makes you stay into bad habits. It's connected to excuses and reasonings. They said the false self-assuredness again is that this petrified is connected to a phobia from a past life. And I'm looking at an indigenous aspect. I can't tell you which one it is, but it's an indigenous. And Nethy is stubborn. Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, to some degree that's connected to it. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So just take what I said, break it down, and you're going to find more. And once you really get to clarify, you'll be amazed at how you can use a tool to grow. Okay, who's next, hon?
Brittany, and she says guidance for Keeni. I'm not sure I pronounced that right.
Spell it for me.
Keeni.
Okay, got it.
And current situation, breathing, and she has lost weight, inflammation, but I thought this was a good thing. Now I don't know.
Okay. All right. So, yes. So there is one frozen meridian but there's a spot on another meridian. Okay, so the frozen meridian that we have to look at is the pericardium. So you're going to take away your take a nice flat one if you can, a refrigerator magnet, and you're going to see this spot right here. Now, as I check them, it's frozen. See, I should be able to move. They're both frozen. So you're going to take and make sure you flip it. You understand? Flip it. Then you're going to rub and flip it. And you can do it fast. And you're like, okay, and then do it on this side. Now you can also take, let's say you had a magnet that you can put on the end, and I don't have it with me, but you put a magnet on the end. You then can take and swivel it back and forth so that it shows the front side and the back side over that point. But I still prefer to do it like this. But the reason they're showing, I'm going to stay here a little longer. The reason that they're showing this is because the point, you're going to help clear up. And after you've done that, you do this. Rub in there. You get in there a good 30 times. Okay. You got to get that stimulated so that it sends the energy around the wheel. But now we have to find a particular point. And it's in the governing channel. Okay. So there's this point here is frozen. So I'm just going to double check it. Yep. So you're going to take this.
Oh, okay. Brittany's asking if she can use her body as a surrogate for the cat or the dog. I can't remember what.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Touch the dog.
Yeah.
In this kind of surrogate, because you can do distant healing surrogate, but in this case, make sure you are feeling the dog if you can. If you can't, then you have to learn how to do distant surrogate. But, okay, so this point right here, you need to see, this is where I would say do this, but this is why they brought it up and I don't have it. And I'm thinking you probably won't either. But they're saying even a crystal on the end of a string, not a regular stone, but we have to use intention because this point is pulled so far into the body that it's not connecting to the smoothness, so it dips in. And so when that happens, it can harm the body. So in this case, okay, you want her to do, can she just use this? No, not a regular magnet. Just put it on a string. Oh, why didn't you just tell me this beforehand? You guys know all things. This is where I would tell you to get a bobble one that has a magnet, but you don't have one. So if you could take, you can even just have a magnet that has a hole in it and you can put a string in through it. But if you don't have, then you can take and puncture a hole through this. And then when you get the string, see, I can even do this. I think that's, you're going to make me be creative, even though I don't know if I want to be. I don't have anything. They said, shut up and just do it. All right. This is where you let spirit come through and just help you. Okay. So anyways, I'm just taking a normal, whatever that clip is and that. And then because I know I have necklaces, I can just go ahead and put that through there. See, this is how spirit creates like MacGyver. Okay, now you have that spot there. This is where you're going to take and you're going to rub it through your fingers. Now, you might have to get closer to make a real good spin, but that's what you want as a spin. So if this is a spot, I'm going to imagine that it's here and you're going to spin it above. Okay, and you may turn it sideways, which is better because you're getting both sides, but you're not touching the skin. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Now, that's my makeshift magnetic thing. Now, what will happen is you may have to do that several times. You are changing the polarity inside the point. And by helping it change it, if you had a bobble one that had a magnet, you can get them from Amy, but this is the one I made a while back because I had to have crystals. Now, sometimes this is too strong. You may have to go like, depending on how you're doing it, you have more access to using different angles. I have several different types. So I have this, that it's about the spin and the control. It's not always about the gauss, the type of how the strength of it. Sometimes it can be just as simple because you don't want too much to overpower, especially a child, an animal. And then you would, something that's minor. This is my makeshift one. I actually have one I got it from Radio Shack. I don't even know if the store is still open. But it came over on my stuff that got shipped from United States. And I just put it on a string and I slide it back and forth. And this will help to bring this dip. We'll start to change the vortex of that point and bring it up. And so that it can start to read the surface of the body. Okay. Just be cautious. Don't do something that's too strong. Okay.
I agree with Pilly. A bobble wand is much easier.
Exactly. But if you don't have it, there's all these
Right.
makeshifts. So I'm going to bring Amy on. Now, do you see that next to Amy? It says My Tribe. Pull up a few, bring them up to the screen. Now okay. Bobble wands have been around for a long, long time. I brought them back into existence in my world way back in probably in, I want to say the 1900s. That sounds so funny. In 1990, I think it was, maybe 1996, maybe? I can't remember. But I started to make them. Okay. The middle one where you see the tip, pull the tip off if you can. That one, yes, that's the one. See, that is a sense diffuser. And that is so that you can change out the scents. You dip them into the oil, and then you can fuse the air, the body, with a sense of that's the frequency and of it, and the intention, the properties that are with it. And you can do, that's how I clean a lot of my spaces, because I can't use, say, burning sage. So I will use a bobble wand or sometimes a fuser of this into the space. Now, we also have the magnetic ones. Now, she's got something that's different. Do you have the magnetic ones?
Yeah, I have magnetic hematite.
Okay. So sometimes you can just have it at the end there. So that can help. And then there are your normal sage ones. Did I have another one? Or was it just those three? Maybe it was just
Those three.
Okay. So when you buy one, if you're in the United States, because it just costs way too much to buy them in Australia, or from whatever.
Yeah, when
they get all infused by Reiki energy from me, and then they get aligned to you personally, and sometimes you get a personal connection, which means it's something that you personally still needs to help with your particular growth. So they also get cleansed from anything that Amy or any of that household, and then they have a protection on them. So when they get to you, they should not accumulate and pick up shit from everybody else. But I have not made the video yet because I don't know how many people actually have one. And those, we may have a bobble wand day. So if you have a bobble wand, you may need to let me know so that I can, but the cost of the class would be cheap, and I would teach you how to use it, and what intentions, and all of these other little things. So if you're interested in that, let me know.
I just got a message from Marty, and I forwarded it to you via Messenger.
Okay.
Your phone.
Oh, that's a good point. The phone.
I love you, Brenda.
Oh, I love you too. And you notice I do not have YouTube up, and that's because I am not bringing my laptop back in here. I got to heal that. It's high maintenance. Not thrilled with high maintenance. Oh my gosh, I need my peepers on. Sure.
Now, I told you to bring those.
I know I had them, and I did bring them in, but I put them down somewhere. No, seriously. Because I said, oh, here's my book, here's my peepers. And I then magically made them disappear. How did you send it through Messenger? I just see a link to Zoom. Where'd you send it?
Through Messenger.
Liar.
I am not. Maybe I haven't sent it yet. There, I didn't send it yet. Sorry. There, I sent it. I was going to write it from Marty.
Oh, well, ta-da! There's magic for you. Okay, so while I read this, why don't you just easily just pull up a chakra card or whatever. It's easy, simple. Don't have to read the whole thing, just one thing.
Impatience. Very impatient.
And okay, hold on. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Key ideas. Synchronicity thinking. Being exhausted by your efforts. Success through patience. Okay, keywords. Unfolding, revelations, and success.
Okay, so who's this from?
Marty, Yellow Bear.
Marty, sweetie. Can I read this out loud? Because I mean, literally, I'd like to faint right now. Did she just make a Babylon icon? How'd she do that? I don't know what it is, but that's cool. I feel drunk. Hold on. Yeah, Marty, hurry up and answer because I don't. Good. I gotta get wet myself too. Okay, I'm holding this energy. I'm waiting for her to answer because literally I want my coffee, but I feel like somebody's moving. I cannot tell you how I feel because I feel drunk. I can't stay in the loop. She had an experience. My niece gave birth to a daughter and the baby girl did not live, and suddenly I felt a sharp pain in my back and I was triggered of my own daughter being born still. Everything, all of the feelings. Yes, now your soul understands what I'm saying, but holy mother Jesus. What I want you to understand, Marty, is you're going to hold L3, left wrist, third position, down here. Okay, nice and soft. I want you to hold that, sweetheart, because at the same time, it triggered a phobia. At the same time, we have a past life event. How do I explain this? Then there is a certain amount of souls that travel with each other. Okay. And sometimes they'll come in with you or they'll show up in some form of connection. And what can happen is like, you're the mother and then this is the child, or in the past life that this was the mother and they're the child, or they were the dad and they, and they were the grandma. And it's role reversals galore. But this soul has traveled before, and interesting enough, the code of that soul that came in felt almost the exact same code, meaning the one you gave birth to was the one she gave birth to. That soul's been trying to come in more than once. That's what I'm saying. At the same time, your body was like, not only because it triggered it because of what you've experienced, but I think you picked up on the code of that child, the code of that soul. So you may have to stay there a little bit longer. Smile, Amy, you're on candid camera. That's from Dale. Okay, so Marty, yeah. Feel how that light got diminished. Okay, there's that's like the gift from the baby that says, please just allow yourself to, because I get this humming in my ears. It's like I can feel all of these interesting things happening at once. Okay. Is there anything else before you let me go? Feeling the shame. Feeling the shame. So heal out shame. So literally when you, I'm going to give you one more thing to do, Marty, and that understanding that these points here, this point here has a lot to do with this frontal central governing central meridian. You're going to put your finger here and you're going to just, do this. You can move this one that's on the chin back and forth and allow yourself to feel anything about the shame, whatever stories need to play out. It's, remember to put it on a scale from 0 to 10, sweetheart. Okay, hon? My heart goes out to you. Okay, now I'm back. All right, Aimster, get back here, young lady. You playing hide and seek, peekaboo with Dale. All right, who's the next person?
Miss Patty.
I feel like there's a song present. Have you been allowing music to come back into your soul? Which means you should be able to feel a wake-up song. And not just getting up and waking up. It's a wake-up song. I feel like they're coming through, and one of the things they're going to tell you is that these songs are going, if you look at the words, these songs are going to tell you what you need to work on. Somehow they're going to connect and link up. And then that's one. And then don't confuse by doing that. But I'll have to say it anyway. They said if you, all of a sudden, if you feel as you are healing and looking, oh, yeah, okay, but take words, put them on the shelf, just kind of, not literal shelf, this is what we do in class, is allow yourself to understand that they're telling you something. Don't stop being impatient. Just allow yourself to just wait for the flow. You will feel a presence of somebody because you may want to cry, or they're on your mind, or they'll put the favorite song on and that reminds you of them. Understand they have a lot to do with what the theme is about. Because you're going to heal out of that, what they're telling you that you can heal is as if you hold L1D. L1D. Okay, next.
You can take.
Oh, wait. She had a very specific question. Did you not read it? Well, ask it. You got 2 seconds.
Okay. She wants to know about her 23-ish self, that something that she needed to know.
Okay. Your 23-year-old self says you have to heal some shit. Okay, so you have a lot of contempt. These songs will help you connect with it, as well as the person that reminds you of the contempt. You are meant to break down what is contempt. Contempt is that thing about you or for them. Okay, they said that there is a point when when contempt came in, where did the empathy go? Okay, it's tied to when will the other shoe drop. So it is connected to the part of you that needs to move forward on the confidence of doing it by yourself. But that's also linked to a past life where you had chosen to be a pauper and live in that. But it is the impending doom, the enduring. You're like, I ain't doing that again, because you did not like the choice you made, because you couldn't get back. Like, for instance, let's say you're a queen, you came down, you lived in the pauper, the living as one of those paupers, but the only problem is you couldn't be recognized as the queen and they wouldn't let you back in. So there was a part of you that couldn't get back to who you were. Metaphorically, we all can't get back to who we are. Okay, now who's next?
Gemma, and she says, needing some clarification on working through my barriers for weight loss, please, so I can be the best version of myself. Thank you.
Who's that? Who?
Gemma? Just Gemma.
Just Gemma. All right, understand, Gemma. The small intestine has a lot to do with it. The small intestine has a lot to do with what's referred to as a leaky gut, or what happens is like if you got candida overgrowth, but the small intestine has a lot to do with why when our body starts acting in this energetically, the fat cells will swell up around certain things so that it protects you. So it doesn't really matter about the food per se, because the body is trying to protect you about something that's reoccurring. So you can go on and learn about how to eat healthy, like the healthy carbs, the angel carbs, or pretty much any of the things that are green. Anything to do with the carbs that if you won't lose weight from can also be from carrots and certain squashes and things like this, and sweet potatoes, because and potato itself, because it's a different way that you would burn it off. So we have to balance out in small proportions that healthy fats, not crappy fats, healthy fats. We need them for parts of our body and our brain, but you also have to have healthy protein. And the more plant-based protein actually helps keep the blood healthy. Being that said, you have to understand the small intestine is a lot to do with the idea of see, now here's the thing. It says the accepted. Something about being accepted, and I'm not saying you have to be accepted about with who you are with the fatness. That's not it. This accepted has to do with that I'm looking to be accepted. If you're looking to be accepted, that's going to interfere with the weight issue. And the other part, is that you have something that you suppressed, and it happens to be affecting the small intestine. That creates an insecurity. So what particular thing did you suppress that you need to clear out? And it's the judgment. They says the twang and the holding of the memory of the judgment is actually going to cause the GPS to be set at, or resetting the thermostat into your body weight, that you're comfortable at this weight. So you can end up losing weight, and then you'll go back to that weight because it's like, this is where my protective barrier is against the judgment. So you need to see in this, because there's all these other things.
Timer?
Yeah, I just know that she needs to tap out and heal out and use any and all healing tools you can, or make an appointment with me. Who's next?
Beth Kelly.
Beth Kelly. Remember to timestamp, because I don't know if people stick around. Unrequited love. What? 3 years old, towards the self. I have a panic, a lofty energy, which causes me to limit myself, and I choose not to feel or think. So that's where you have a limitation. So then instead of having that connection, yearning took over. What happens with yearning is then you end up going into like, oh, and then you go into sour grapes, but you don't realize it was a protection. And therefore you're yearning for something. So you put yourself in a situation that has to do with not fully connecting on a heart-to-heart level. This is why some people will turn around and get into relationships that are limited so that they don't have to open up that heart completely. In our minds, we do, but our programs say you can't. So you got to heal the program so you can go for that full love. Next.
TP.
TP. Before we do TP, Brittany, just going to double check. You've gotten better at that. So there's energy moving. Is there anything specific? No, just keep an eye on it. You may have to zip up for Keeney, because meaning doing that surrogate, because the energy, you have to be also very careful, because if it's an animal, they're learning to help take out the negative energy. So they'll take what's going on with you, absorb it in, and don't know how to process it out. So kind of help by zipping up the dog. It's a dog, right? And clean it off, fluff the aura, help that connection of that energy, because the animals take a lot on from us. Okay, now TP. Ooh, part of it doesn't look good, and sometimes it looks good, so you're still wrestling back and forth. But the overwhelm, you got to learn to get this overwhelm under control, because it keeps throwing you in high beta. And in your procrastination, when the overwhelm comes in, it literally thinks, well, if I drag my feet or whatever, it's not that you want to, but it's literally a fear. Okay, and it's a habit. So you have this communication process with your family that if you act a certain way, then you're going to get the certain result, or how you do anything is how you do everything. And it just keeps repeating. When it keeps repeating, that's what you're doing. So you have got to take more control of this mindfully, by notice that you're mindfully doing it, and then choose again. Now, it's not always easy, because that overwhelming becomes such a strong filter. But do understand that you're hoping to get a certain result. And I'm not going to say anymore. I think you know what it is. So don't be harsh on yourself. If you want to do that, hoping to get a result, that's one way of doing it. But if you want to change in a different direction, understand you can do that too. Next.
Miss Vic.
Miss Vic. Ooh. The first word is something to do with being, they're going right to the heart, something about feeling sorry. If you feel sorry for some people, and you're beginning to wake up, but it says something about them taking my attention. And well, what happens is that second part of your chakra says that they're taking my attention. You say you want to move forward, you want to do something, and you're listening to spirit guides and doing all this and that, but somebody is pulling your attention, and this is not by accident. What is it? What are the triggers? What are they getting? Why are they doing it? And then I hear that I need them to do this. I need them to do this. So there's a program within yourself that says, I need them to take my attention. So I don't, because that's what I learned as a kid, is that people take my attention so that I morph into what I'm supposed to be doing. You're meeting in an arrest and a development right now. You are at this arrested development stage that says, oh, look at my pattern. I got to make this stop. You can do this. Use your tools. Next.
Stacy.
Stacy.
Fevell.
Stacy, what?
Stacy Fevell. Favell.
All right. Wait, what? What are you giving me? We're looking at some cards. First one has to do with, there's something that you wish that could happen very soon, but it's not. There's a certain chemistry that's not happening, but you're stuck in repeating it because there's a lack of passion. Because of this lack of passion, then you're iffy about, is this romantic? Is this not? Is this romantic? So you're flip-flopping in your thought patterns based on what you want, the chemistry of and emotions about, so it becomes unclear. You have to marry this aspect of yourself of noticing what is it your conclusion comes into. Because you have a set conclusion, because there's a part of you that would rather feel the honeymoon effect continuously, even if there isn't a lot of chemistry. Stacy Fevell. No, just one. I don't know what she's responding to.
Just one L.
Oh.
I think I said 2 L's.
Gotcha.
Dale, Keeney is Brittany's dog.
Yes, it's a dog. Okay, so Dean, yes, it's these cards here. The romantics, yes, from Romancing Angels, yes. Okay.
Okay. Bobby, and she says, just wondering if my financial situation is going to be better, and what should I do in the meantime?
Okay. Your financial situation can always be better. The thing is that if you're saying to the universe, thank you for it, then that's fine. But if you are going and giving reasons why, oh, I'm a good guy, why isn't this happening? Then can you hear the twang of disbelief? What happens is that cancels your order. And so will the money situation improve? Yes. And it has in simple ways, because they're saying, you know, like when you start walking down a road, you just find a penny. Now, I don't know, in the Australia, it's finding a nickel, but pick it up, because if you can't find value in the small things, then you can't accumulate the big things. And they want you to begin to notice that you have the financial situation is that you don't have to believe everybody's in the same boat. That means everybody is in the same boat, but you can say, how can I increase my financial thing? Now, you're immediately going to go into, I don't have enough money, I can't do this, I'm not smart enough, blah, blah, blah. But when you start getting an idea, bring it through, follow it through. And as you start to really begin to trust and to believe into yourself, but they're going to give you a little warning, which is, don't think that I have to buy major things in order to make certain things happen. Doing this, I didn't have a computer to do it, but Spirit said, I want you to go online. Okay, you kind of need a computer. You kind of need a camera. I don't have this. I didn't have the money either. So then Spirit says, okay, thank you for letting this in. So I said, thank you for the stuff. If you want me to do this, all of a sudden I had Lenore come up. She gave me a laptop. And then I had somebody buy a camera. And then all of a sudden, because just doing those little things of coming online, Spirit's the one that arranged it, because me and my husband could have done it, but to look at it and say, I want to invest, which I've learned in the past that it's not about just putting money out there and budgeting it. It was learning to trust Spirit. That's where you're moving to. Next.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yes, it's going to get better, but you got to see it and believe it before you can manifest it. Okay, so you have to dive into a world of where it can. Dale says, pay forward for Amy, being no one else is on board. So Dale had it up for grabs. Is that what I understand? I can barely read this, but it has to be a split screen with the blue elephant. Deal?
Deal, Dale.
And no height, Sticky Poo. Oh, that is so sweet. So Dale must have been offering.
He was offering for the dog.
Okay, but was he offering before that? Spirit says he was offering to anyone, but they weren't hearing him? Well, here's the thing. If he was offering before and nobody set up for grabs and I didn't see it, so I could have said it, that means that Spirit had you intended in mind in the first place.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll trust you on the payment. Okay. Miss Aimster. Anything you want to talk about? Sorry, my mouse is flying all over. That's a sign, but go ahead.
My head keeps spinning.
Is that why my mouse is flying?
Probably.
Oh, hang on to your hats. We're not in Kansas anymore. Now I understand why that was here. Oh, see, so Bobby just said, yes, he was. Oh, see, Bobby would have done it, but she didn't. The energy connections and the links were interesting, because I didn't even see it, but I can feel the energy of it. So no one was on board, but yet, see, and he was offering a gift. How many people out there that weren't open to receive? Don't beat yourself up, because the door in this case was kind of closed to all of you but her. Why do you think he kept referring to the elephant? So Spirit was saying, oh, well, it's up to you what you want to do, but here we go. Miss Aimster, now the spinning. Now, again, I said something to you about chemistry. What drugs are you on that the doctor has you on that's not in balance with you? So how many medications are you on?
I am on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 10.
Okay. And any of those need to be reduced? No. but there is a problem with one of them. And they're saying there is a certain mental thinking, and it's part of your life theme, over grievances. Oh, set the timer. I gave you a second, literally. What did that mean before I go any further?
It means that there's one of my meds is not right now.
See, that's all she heard. And I said, you need to take your medicine, but the thoughts, your potion, magnetics, is that your life theme is about grievances. You have a mental thought that you actually think grieving and loss, but you aren't aware of it. But because you're thinking, and that's part of your theme, it's interfering with the medicine. So it's not about really changing the medicine as much as changing. You're giving yourself this little inside bitch slap. Stop being a flippant thinker. So let's break this down. Have you thought loss when you don't see me? Have you thought loss when you can't connect with any of us? Any of your friends?
No. We're coming up to the anniversary of my mother's death.
Okay, so there's an anticipation, well recorded.
Yep.
In the body's consciousness.
And I almost went there today, and I'm like, no, you don't need to go there. I caught myself.
Gotcha. Got ya. Woo, boy, all the bells and whistles are ringing. Take and hold up your head, L1D. Allow yourself to go there with this energy. Allow yourself to go there with this. Yeah, I didn't even put my watch on because I had no idea what I was going to do. Ha, ha, ha. And I want you to notice and just allow yourself to go there. Pitifully sad and abandoned and lonely, forlorn. Oof. Dale made an agreement, so you can't take your little crying ass off there. Yeah, I'm going to hide behind these spectacles.
I'm even recording it, so hey.
Notice how much it's superior over you, this loss, and only you can tell. Now here, we're going to tell you, we're going to do something else. Our brain takes pictures. I want you to look through one eye, and I want you to go there and tell me which eye you're looking through.
Looking through my left.
And what number do you see of this story?
None.
But that's not causing any grief, huh?
Not in the left eye.
Go to the right.
Looking to the left middle.
There it is. Okay. And what number is it?
8.
Good job. Now, I want you to feel it. Notice that your body's going into self-preservation. We don't want to go there. And then you go there. I don't want to go there. And you hear your mental thoughts of fighting and arguing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to go there. It's not a pleasant place to be.
Notice the argument. That's what I want you to notice first. So feel that argument. I mean, remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Look straight down. Now taste your feelings. What's your comfort food?
Tacos?
No, do you allow yourself to have tacos or not?
Mhm.
And this allows you to stay out of that place, correct?
Correct.
And I found it interesting when you said the shirt you couldn't wear this morning had smelled like tacos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, notice as you try to expand yourself, you've pulled away from your parents, you had to go on your own, getting married. But notice how, as you pulled away from your parents to hold on to a relationship or go into a relationship, did you feel the loss? And that's why you had to be pulled back into taking care of them, because you didn't really want to be in that out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to feel that. Feel that absentness. Feel that. Because your reality is that I know I'm supposed to move forward, but I lost my mother's presence years ago. I've been always begging for it. And now that I'm actually physically removing myself, she's also physically removing herself. And I don't know how to cope with that. Look straight up. Go back to that middle left. And what number is it?
5.
You've only known how to be an it with that love. And it feels great to be with me because you can feel like an I, we. But you know, become very self-conscious when you become an it. And all you ever wanted was the presence and the love from your mom and your dad. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
And all you've ever been doing is trying to seek that answer because it was a need. Do you have to believe that you never got it?
No.
So the death made it final. That was my last chance. But is that true?
No.
How many times does your mother keep coming through me?
Every time I look at you, pretty much.
Now I want you to notice the child part of you that's had an extremely bad memory. Notice the panic is what you don't want to address. Is the panic have to be real?
No.
And what is that panic saying to you?
It's not going to be there. The love's not going to be there.
And at the time, it may have felt like you are the alarm going off and it was the finalization and the closure. And you're like, no, I didn't get my need met. But you felt like it was only from this one person is the only way that you can be defined as Amy. Now, I want you to feel that she's saying it's untrue. I mean, she is right there grabbing your shoulder and says, I understand as a human parent, I failed, but I understand the contracts. But this is where I'm at. Can you let me feel? And can you feel? Again, she's trying her best. There you go. You just started to feel it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to believe that need is not met anymore?
No.
Then release how you believe it wasn't met. And you stay indecisive of ever having a life because you get stuck that you have to control the situation. You can't. Just allow yourself to stay there. But there's a person. Has anybody ever tried to steal your thunder?
Yeah, my brother.
Okay. And see, and I know that we have somebody in the room that's trying to steal your thunder right now where you need to ban them, but I can put up with it. Because this has to do with, we're going to let spirit understand as you look who's still trying to steal your thunder. Notice how you felt that you had to look at them, look what they're getting, look what they're squeaky wheeling. And that may hurt because the overwhelm attention. The overwhelm attention. Their overwhelm attention. I would love to give you moderate rights. I just can't figure out how to do it. Why? I do not know. All right. Ooh. Amy, is there a number there?
No.
Switch eyes. Switch the middles. Just look up, down, look everywhere.
In the middle.
Number.
5.
Take your power back from your brother. And it's like he's more important to me. You know, to them, it's he's more important. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. How what I want you to do is hear the criticisms from your father that he's more important, da 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 da. And if you notice, every time he criticizes, it was because, not now, Amy, because somebody else has to have the attention. And by doing that, I want you to just start to remove, transcend, let it go. Look down to the lower left and listen to how you feel like love was severed. Okay? Feel how you feel the love is unsevered. But now the thing is that you're like, but I fear being alone. And again, notice how much you believe that. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Now let's take it and look to the lower right. Ah. is that even involved? All of a sudden it's like, marry me, Amy, marry me, Amy. Did somebody ask you over and over until you finally gave in?
Mm-hmm.
And so you took the action based on just to shut him up?
Yeah.
Okay. Notice how and in your heart, how you had to feel that heartache, and they were coming in at a very crucial point, but it was really not the choice you wanted.
No.
Notice that it was a habit. Fine, and you do it. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you see the pattern? Can you see the habit? Can you see the there you go. Now you have to make a choice. Oh God, and it's like I can't stop believing them. That's the only way, because he's showing me love. He's showing me, you know, so it's like twisted love. It's Here's the question. Not to you, Amy. You keep healing. Dale, did I get rid of him?
I did.
Good job. How'd she do that? Did you see her move?
I moved my hand for like 30 seconds, not even, maybe just.
Ever since I got out. So this is how Spirit set things up, because like I said, normally I have the control of the board as well. When I popped on, I had no control of the board. Only Amy does. And I thought, okay, that's no problem. And then Spirit set it up so that it's supposed to steal her thunder to representation of her brother. And then it was also, look at me, like all I kept hearing was marry me, marry me. It was like the misunderstanding that this would be better than life than I've got now, or I need to move forward, or help me move. Dale, you didn't do anything. I just, don't know what's going on there. But anyway, but Amy took care of it herself. So I'm like, I should be able to do this. I'm trying to find a back door in, and I blocked him from my personal page, but it didn't show up properly. I'm like, oh, darn it. And Amy did it. Not only did she take the real-time person, I'm a stand-in for your brother, but you did it. See how quick and easy that was? You have shown yourself that you don't have to lose your shit, be influenced. There is a building up of a believing of yourself. Do you understand this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you still spinning?
No.
And what's that number do you have?
I got nothing.
So you're done?
I think so.
All right, take your hand down. Well, a little bit of empowerment there. You know, you keep healing, you're going to have to end up really getting new glasses.
Uh-huh.
Instead of getting worse, your eyes are getting better.
They're getting better. It's like I can't see
the
screen decent anymore.
Right. With this pandemic, my eyes improved, and it's like I can't even go to the eye doctor. I mean, literally, my glasses are really bad. My eye contacts are better because they're the newer prescription, but I wasn't going to spend $1,000 on glasses. So I spent $30 and got contacts. And but now my eyes have improved even more. It's like, oh God. Yay me, but at the same time it's confusing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Dale said he wanted to gift oh good Lord, like I can. What'd you say, Dale? One was for Amy, and then did I hear you say discretion? So Amy, you can see better than I can, and what's who and all blah blah there.
I'm reading.
Okay, you do that. So again, you can look at life and you can have life help you. And I'm not talking about through the ego mindset. You have to choose to go through the spiritual mindset. There's a part of you that has to learn that there's more to you than having to have suffering. Oops. Excuse me.
I can't find it. Dale, what did you say?
Amy, let's take care of that yang deficiency real quick. The yang deficiency that's running in is a constitution that one of the parts of the bodies has. And you can also be very susceptible to diabetes. Aversion to cold and humidity. You often complain about feeling cold and at the hands or feet or abdomen. But in this case, you can also feel unwell after eating cold foods. See, like I had this problem. That's why I cannot have cold food. My husband sits there and woof down the cold food. For me, it's like, no. Grosses me out.
I don't like cold stuff.
Okay, so, yeah, there's a whole list of things here. So what we're going to do is we're going to balance out the yang deficiency. We're going to do it through the source point healing like I do best. We're going to do the left side. So you say left, you just say yang deficiency, and you're going to be on the left side. You're going to do KD3, which is the point behind the ankle right there. Again, the intention is yang deficiency. And then you're going to do left side. And then once you've done that, you're going to do LV or LR, whatever you call it, 3, right there, that point there on the left side. Oh, Jesus, I felt that shift. Diana said, I went to the bank. What did I miss? A lot.
A lot, Diana. I just healed my brother out of my life. Again.
Wow. See, whose anniversary was coming up?
My mom's.
And that's where we started, and we ended up, healing my brother out of my life. Ooh, how interesting. Oh, you know what? He says, don't be surprised if I come in more. Because he
was very shy in life.
Well, he's not going to be in the afterlife. Because now I feel like the block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're going to.
Wow.
Oh, did you see that shift? Talk about a jolt and a half.
Felt it. Holy shit.
Okay. Yeah, you're not in yang deficiency anymore. Any more deficiencies? How about excess? No, you're good. Okay. That'll take care of that. Dana, did you get the money for our vacation? What?
Oh.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so Dale, did you say you're going forward? Huh? What?
Dale's so cool. I love him.
I love him too. Did you say that? Text you, Amy. Read your text. Now, who in the world is stuffy-nosed? Somebody in the room is stuffy-nosed. Because they're doing a blood stasis. Okay, constitution. Ooh, often feel uncomfortable in cold environments. Is it me? No. Yes, I had the mask you told me to wear. Got 1 million. That's enough.
Oh God, I just got a text from Michelle. Her oldest son just had a really bad fall off of his bike and has dislocated his shoulder, and he's on morphine now. Or Michelle.
Okay. Is there a lesson that he's trying to? Yes. Is there anything we can do? Not yet. We can hold the space. So you're saying that something has to play out. Yes. There's a stubborn issue that has to be addressed, and it is attention. Something to do with stubborn and attention, and then it has to do with something to do with mind. So again, don't accuse the kid. It is just this particular energy that the soul is unwinding at this point, because energetically, we could start to help, but at the same time, they said no. This is part of. So you and her have been talking about him. Communication between you and Michelle a while back?
No, yeah, we had been talking.
Okay, so now understand that you're part of the equation too, as far as being that he's the next ring out from you. Mm-hmm. So there is an importance of this as well, not only in his own circle and his mama and all that. There's something because that you have to look at and address this too. Frightfully overjoyed is one of the things that something to do with a habit. Look at PayPal. Anyways, there's
Gail paid it forward for one more person.
Oh, okay. So this Dale, just pick one, or we have a pay it forward. Who wants it? Yes, please. And thank you, Dale. Do we have a amen? Oh, what's happening? Come on, PayPal, play with me. Yes. What do we have here? Okay, it hasn't come in yet, but I'm sure it will. Okay, so we have a Bobby. Anybody else? Anyone? Bueller? We'll give that time delay since I don't know about the time delay. Okay, what's important to address for people is the rings of consciousness out, and for her, for Amy, because it's like a continuation of something we just that Dale gifted her. We have a yes please from Pilly as well. Okay, Dale. Is that the rings of consciousness out is, if it has come to your view, then you are meant to address something. And in this case, it is frightfully overjoyed, and then something about the heart, the way the heart has to talk. So when we have a particular thing with the heart, in this case for Amy, it's about talkative. I have to talk. It's being a talkative. It's how one processes, deals, and copes with a particular thing. That is what you're going to have to find out, Amy. And if you find yourself wanting to hear people talk, or you want to talk, do an L1D.
Okay.
Oh, Pilly, you're such a sweetheart. Dale, between Dale and Pilly, you got the most names in the drawing.
Yeah.
And so, every time you guys pay, your name goes into the drawing, just to let you know. And I'm just gonna help Vicky understand frightfully overjoyed. So if you were in a car accident, you'd be frightened, but then there's this overjoyed that it's over, or or you lived. Frightfully overjoyed is when I watched my son get hit in a bat to the head. That frightened me, but I overjoyed that he survived. Okay, so when the excitement is locked, especially in the heart, it can, anything like an excitement can affect the heart. Frightened can affect the heart, or it's locked. It's locked because it's like a duration. It can happen instantly, or it could be, oh, you're frightened, and then overjoyed, and then they're locked. And so when you have that in there, there'd be a lot of times I've got, I had to go in and clear out those little things. They're big ass ones, but anyway. Yes, if anybody's in the room, so now you're going to put Brown Gardner, yes please. Pilly, Bobby. All right, so let's see what's actually come forward so I know exactly. We have a pay it forward. So, there is, okay, so I received something from Dale, and that was one for Amy, and then there was one more. So you just, oh, Vicky, you just saw the 2 incidents? Ooh, that would be intriguing to hear. So we thank Dale for being a big contributor for helping people move forward. We're going to give it another minute, and then if I don't know if Vic can share. Well, if we could, we read it. So it's very important to know that. Amy, first of all, do I have any homework? Homework. I always have homework.
No, you don't.
Okay, thank you. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, I do, dear.
Good.
I do.
I screwed up all day yesterday thinking, or the day before, I thought, oh, Diana wanted on. Diana's, honey, I have it for the 26th. I'm like, oh. Just wanted to work with her, apparently.
I love Diana, too. She is so awesome. I have met so many amazing women and gentlemen on my journey.
Yeah, it's a whole different crowd, because the crowd you had were people that were dying off like, I don't want to say dying off like dead flies. How does that fly? What?
And they still are. My great aunt called me today. Are you mad at me? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, I just don't think to call you until after you're in bed.
Yeah, well, you're learning to live a different life. You're learning to become more Amy, and it thrills me when people can stop and say, this is who I am. I mean, I must have really had a past life thing, because my God, I will watch people. I'm watching Annie with an E. And so Annie's been trying to figure out her place. She's a very beautiful girl that has way with words, but yet she's supposed to not be, you gotta be quiet. You gotta be in this part, And then there is this boy that's gay, and he knows he's different, but he doesn't meet anybody of his liking. So he ends up going to this party with Annie, and those are their people that they know where they're beginning to belong. And there's actually hope for the first time. And when you get to see, no more hiding, because he says, well, I just want to be normal. And it's like, normal's a moving target. In this day and age, we get to have people to be themselves. And now, my God, there's nothing more empowering when I'm watching somebody else being empowered to just be themselves. It's just like, it tickles me pink. It's just like, oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I love you, Diana. She's my go-to over here sometimes. It's like,
Vicky said, a car accident at 16 and getting washed off of a rock by a row wave. Holy shit.
That would hurt like hell.
Uh-huh.
That one's okay. I've been in a car accident, but the water thing, that freaks me out. That's a past life thing for me. I know how rocks hurt, man. We were on a rafting, and we were whitewater rafting, and the darn thing on my side, because we went over and hit, and when it came down, my butt bone, I think, got hurt, hit the bottom of the rock, the tore the raft, but I had a bruise on my right butt cheek. It was just unbelievable. But we didn't flip out. That freaked me out. And then when we went around the corner, somebody flipped the boat, and then I got water in my face. Oh, Diana. Diana says, I love the way Americans say my name. It's so sexy. Yes, Diana. I still can't pronounce your last name, but that's okay.
I'm not even going to try and butcher it either.
Yeah, because when my husband says, he just rolls off his tongue, you know, his Australian accent.
And he sent me a video the other day, and I'm like, oh my God. With his Australian accent? Oh, shit.
That is true. He goes, oh, I'm going to send this to Amy. And he was like, how do I get the camera going? I says, you just push this. And then I said, do you understand that's recording? Yeah. You're actually going to let someone hear your voice? Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. And so, and then when she writes me back, I think, oh, she had the same response I had when I first heard him talk.
Oh, God. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I love when he talks to me. It's like, oh. Okay.
It is Bobby.
Bobby got it. Okay. Now, Vic says, I took most of my skin off and washed my son off the rock. Oh, my God. That.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Especially something that you love. Oh, my God. Wow. Yeah. I would definitely say you need to heal that out. Just do L1D for those big. Oh, well, you guys are teasing me now. He chose Braun, and then you said Bobby. And now I'm like, who's doing what? All right. Okay, we'll do both.
Take me off screen.
Take you off screen. She made me take her off screen. No more elephant for you. All right, first swap. We're gonna take both. We're gonna have Bobby Brown. I guess we'll take it in that order. Bobby and then Brown.
I gotta go let the kid.
Oh, go take care of your kitty cats. All right. So Bobby Brown. Just kidding. Who wants to come on first? I don't care. If you want to come on, do it like this. Let me know. What is the topic you want to talk about? Whatever it's going to be, that's great. You let me know. I am with this. Oh, God. You got to snort out of that one. You know, it looks blue, but it's actually a royal purple. But yeah, that was the first thing Amy said. Oh, we're matching. Yes, I'm kind of matching. You can see my blue cards there and my dragons behind me. Remember to like, love, and get notified.
And share.
Sunny, did you say share?
Uh-huh.
Sunny and share?
Sunny and share, yes.
No, that's not what you really said, did you?
No, I said and share.
Oh, yes, like and share, yes.
And I said and share.
They're playing the association game with me. I'm trying to read here. Here we go. Hold on. What Vic says, I was thinking it was opening my mother-in-law's present, terrified and acting overjoyed. Oh, that's funny. Bobby said, okay, there it is. Is my mom with me and is my brother with her? He killed himself, and since I've lost them, felt lost. Oh, let's take care of the feeling lost. Now my eyesight's gone. So it's not only feeling lost, it's just how to see. a big chunk of you left. And so because of that, that's why your body's so exposed to being open of not recovering. It's a habit. It's a habit. It's a habit of what? Being, okay. Really? That's where we're going? Okay. So Bobby, we'll take Bobby first and then Braun. There's this fear. Okay, gosh, there's like, I mean, oh, there's, goodness gracious, a whole bunch of physiology happening things at once. Okay, so here's the thing. There is this erratic energy happening inside of you. That's the whole thing that's happening. All of it's happening at once. And if I say, Spirit, what do you want to do? And they said, well, it's overjoyed and it's frightful overjoyed. Oh, we're going to go back to that. So you're overjoyed having your life and frightened because they're gone. And then you're afraid to have life because they are gone. So now I have to ask the question, do you feel guilty for living? Do you feel, and if you don't feel guilt for living, do you feel like you can't move on without their presence? It's very important that you face these because there's a part of it is a hatred towards the, and, you know, and there's these reactions. And so there's bullying and there's, I mean, this energy is just like, blah, 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 blah. So to answer your question, can you make yourself present? No, yes. And have you talked to her? Yes. Really? That's the word you want to use? We're going to find another word because I don't think I can translate that properly. Woman. It feels strange and odd, unusual, peculiar, bizarre. Okay, that's one way to make me remember that. Okay, what now is I'm going back to the very first one. I can't let it go. I can't believe it happened. I can't believe it happened. I can't believe it happened. So there's this I can't believe it happened. And she said the first time you did that, it was at 3 years old. And it was a broadcast message to yourself that had to do with I'm oversympathetic, which means when you sympathize, your thoughts go more into understanding that and go into that so deeply that you start to over-identify with it. And she says yes, so yes. And then this is her issue, that she goes back into the dark night of the soul. Now, can you answer her other question? Yes, he's right here, but he's not here. Oh, is he still in that limbo state? Yes. So interesting enough, so as my nose is doing this, I asked her and she says, yes, here and not here. Now the younger self here, that's really too hard to explain. Just in limbo. So he's working through different stages and ages. And so what happens is eventually all of him will be able to be in this particular step. Do you understand? Because of this, the belief. Oh, I'm getting belief. What's the belief? The belief that the awkwardness, and then what happens, oh God, she says my nerves are going nuts. All the stories of what happens to people at suicide. Is this correct? Makes everything tenfold. Then she creates this, so you think about it. So you're thinking, the emotions and the thinking. So the emotion that causes it happens to be, no? Okay, the thoughts process. It's something she's repressed. So what you need to do, honey, is you haven't felt her. That's because the emotion's stopping you. Ask for a sign, okay, as if my brother made it to heaven and after he killed himself, my nerves are so bad. Yes, because you don't have enough information. And those nerves are so bad because of certain emotions that sit there, and emotions will block you for every time for talking to the other side. So and I'm asking, and they said, it's in the bladder. Well, where would you want to begin to heal this? And they said, well, that's the thing. She's all over the place. We talking constitutions? Your special constitution. All right, it's special constitution. But that's the thing is you have a program. Ugh. So that would just be temporary. This is the program. The program towards self is this broadcast message. What is hatred? Okay, I'm going to ask you, because we have this time delay. Do you hate feeling a certain way? Do you hate something that you hate? Do you understand? It's not that I hate that person. It can be that, but there's a form of, I just hate when that happens. You have to really look at this feeling, because somehow you took in that particular way of, this is the way I'm supposed to look. Like suffering is always true. It's not, but you're like, it's yeah, you're stuck. Well, where do you want her to go? Feeling lost. I want you to do L3S, literally, Bobby. If you take and you have left wrist, take your fingers down to the third. Then you put your thumb there. Okay? Nice and soft. And I want you to think about all that I just told you, because there is fear and sour grapes and diminishing your light. And you can look at it and you think, am I holding myself back? What would I keep telling myself? You have to look at what you keep telling yourself, because it's still vibrating, which then allows you to just take that will and be controlled. Yeah, there you go. I felt like I wasn't there for her at the end. Yes, I want you, that's what you're going to think about. That's one of the things you're going to think about, and just keep. This is your punishment to yourself. Okay, just so you know. And just keep it. Remember, put on a scale from 0 to 10. You have to get down to 0. If there's a little bit left, stay there. Because for you, now I would say, could it switch? And they said, there's just part of you that's petrified. Feel how that will is paralyzed. I can't move forward. My will to, I know, I'm not willing to, and then you end up doing it, but just feel the tug of war. Braun, I'm butchering it. Have you connected with them? There goes my voice. Yeah. All right. She's aware that she's next. Oh, there you are, honey. Okay, what do you want to talk about? Okay, what do you want to talk about so that we have an idea? Oh my God, look what just popped in, Amy. My peepers popped.
Yay, your peepers popped.
Yeah, they're right there, right where I knew they were. So I'm in the right dimension finally. Jesus, my mom. Oh, you want me to get a butterfly for her? Well, first you got to find my deck. Oh, you want this deck and this deck? Okay. This deck has butterflies. This deck has butterflies. So this will be fun. I got to make table room. Move out of the way, people. And then you want this one. Okay, so this is the afterlife deck. I'm standing right next to you. Bah! Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. I could have done it more evilly, but no. I have to pause this. Let me tell you something. So you know how you have those flip phones? Okay, but when and you can set your own ringtone. Well, my son never texts me or calls me, but I set his and I went, it's his ringtone. Because sometimes he likes to scare me. He likes to sneak up behind me and scared me. Okay. So anyways, now this is, I forgot about any of this ringtone. You're talking about a year or whatever, because this kid never calls me or nothing. So I'm sitting there watching, and it was Ghost Whisper. I had the lights all off. Now you got to remember, I had a projection screen. I made my one room into a theater for my classes, but so I have this 90-inch screen, and I'm like, it's all dark, it's all quiet, and I'm watching so intently. Oh my God, Melinda, move. And then I hear, oh my God, it was right next to me. It was in my pocket. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, and then it did it again. And the spirit goes, it's you. Me? Oh, it's a phone. I laughed so damn hard that I didn't scare myself and wet myself because I was scared. I laughed so damn hard I wet myself. I'm laughing so hard. Nobody fucking awake. I could tell. That was funny. Anyways, let's get back to you, Bron. Oh, you're ungrounded, my child. Ungrounded. And this one says, oh, yes, forgiveness. You're ungrounded because you need to forgive yourself. So you're doing the should, coulda, wouldas. Is that true? If you are, understand that you're looking for something. You're looking for something. And they say, oh, because you can't get it from the person that's passed, there's a party that feels timid. So now the sharp pain is going up my right side of my body. It's really hurts. And it's the action that you have to force yourself to do every day, because there's a certain amount of hopelessness at that time. Do you know what she's referring to? Okay, Ron, do you know what she's referring to? Because she's saying the forgiveness, there are how many incidences? Countless. Oh, you want me to talk about this? Forgiveness has to do with how you contract your energy and you falsely think that you can't forgive yourself for something. And it's like, not only do I feel like I can't forgive myself, this came in reverse, so, but this is the card. Okay, so the ungrounding happened, and that's what they want me to focus on. The one at 5 years old, you contracted your energy, and because you felt like you had to correct yourself, so you're compelled to correct yourself. And so every time you would hear your name or something, you would pull in and correct yourself, okay, and then you do it. And then it says that there was a specific incident at 5 that it scared you and ungrounded yourself. So when they show me that, I have to then look to see if your spirit is in your body or if it's hanging out on the next party. It's like, I'm over here. And it is, yes, there is a certain portion of the spirit is outside of the physical. The result can be similar to a disconnect, but it's just a portion. So we need to connect it back in. Do we need to connect it to anything particular? So we need to roll it back in, but we have to remove the emotion that you've been suppressing, because that's how you coped with it, of being very self-conscious. So with that process, you're going to need to R3S, okay? Down here, 1, 2, 3, down here. Thumb soft, and you're going to do this, and you're going to think about that feeling. No, they're just saying, I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. I'm repeating. I was going to say it's something I've already said, but then I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Are you saying you can't figure out what I just did? No, it's the story. I can't figure it out. And then there is the thing that you had to suppress is I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. So you suppressed it, and out popped a behavior. They said once you've understood that it was like a 10, bring it down to 0. And when you feel like it's gone, even if you're not sure, then you take a magnet, refrigerator magnet's the best. And then you can say, I connect my spirit into my body 100% where it belongs. I connect my spirit into my physical body 100% where it belongs. I connect my spirit into my body 100% where it belongs. So you may have to do it a couple times, sometimes up to 10. You can start to feel the shift, but need to get out the emotion that caused the ungrounding in the first place. Okay, so now walk outside, hug a tree, go barefoot, but again, take a shower. Yes, and in the part of the grounding is that you have to come back, and once you, because you couldn't figure something out, you have to, once you take and roll that out, or heal the emotion out and roll that in, you will go out and you will feel Mother Earth connecting to the hurts of the planet. Take some water. Become very mindful of how it went in. If it's cold, if it's warm, feel it before you swallow it, then feel it. If you really want a dramatic event, get cold water, and then you get to feel how it goes down and settles. Then as you bring your attention and you're not sure how to do it, you can bring your hand on your heart, and wherever you touch, you will bring your focus. Touch your belly button. And even if you're sitting on the grass, grab the bottoms of your soles of your feet. Just sit there and feel. Because what happens is that literally our computers, our everything will make a disconnect frequency. But if you are connecting with Mother Earth, if you get a grounding process machine, it's not a machine, it's a little thing that's connected to the, just look for grounding. David Avocado. Type that in and you'll see evidence and information. And because your body and everything needs to also begin to feel the hurts of the, HERTZ of Mother Earth and getting realigned with that. Okay, because you've been out for a while now. Does that make sense? So yeah. So every time she comes near, okay, every time she comes near, just to let you know, there's a part of you that goes into a particular habit, and then it triggers that, and you can feel the separation. But if you were to do what I had just said, and allow yourself to become mindful of certain things, you should be able to allow yourself to become more connected. And when you allow yourself to do that, especially any emotions that interfere, you're going to be able to hear your mother without having a person like me to be here. And here is do you like candy cane carnations? I've got one or many, it doesn't matter. Candy cane carnations. That's the white and the red striped.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a certain smell that comes with a carnation. So you may smell whiffs of it. Whiffs, woo, whatever. Woof. You'll smell it. If you may start seeing red and white more, that's love and wisdom. And understand if you see hearts, that's that love, and the wisdom, whatever representation. You're going to be able to, what do you want to call it? You will be able to connect with all this. And timestamp T. Ooh.
We have about 10 minutes left.
All right, so I'm going to take Terrence real quick, since he is part of the tribe. You're in a panic, boy. L1D that. Terrence. L1D. The L1D, because it's an old past pattern, and there is this, as you step more into you, there's some people that are doing judgment throwing, and okay. Notice that, just notice that, Terrence, because it's throwing you off to becoming you, and it's a way that we pull ourselves back into our programs, and the physical body is like, whoa. But no, just do that, get it down to 0, and then you can get back onto who you are, Mr. Terrence. Let's see. You're welcome. Yes, we get big shout out to Dale for all of his wonderful good deeds today.
Yes, you Dale.
And all of the beautiful energies that you were with me. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for helping getting this message out. It is so, so important when we do this. Remember to resolve to evolve.
Heal instead of deal.
And feel it, heal it.
You can heal that.
And most of all, stay blessed.
Stay blessed.